Following broadcast of BigElkTV.com is presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people come first.
Focus is defined as the ability to concentrate attention or effort on the most pressing needs. Tonight, the most pressing need is for the Big Elks to focus their attention on John Marshall. Yes, first round of the playoffs are looming next Friday night, but tonight comes first. The Brown and White has been able to defeat each and every district opponent with a powerful ground game and stingy defense. John Marshall will feature a talented group of skill position players along with a massive group of guys up front. The Bears' record does not reflect the quality of their play throughout the district schedule. Can the Elks continue to build momentum for another long playoff run with a perfect district record? Or will the Bears hand Elk City their only district loss? Let's find out. It's the Elk City Elks and the John Marshall Bears live from Big Elk Stadium in Elk City, Oklahoma. It's time for Big Elk football.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Elk City football. It's senior night tonight here at Big Elk Stadium. It's the 8-1 Elk City Elks against the 2-7 John Marshall Bears. As we mentioned in the opener, the Elks have already wrapped up the 4A1 district title, but Jared, you want to see the Brown and White come out, execute early, show the focus that needs to be there, get the job done, and then kind of sit around and watch the other guys play in the second half.
Yeah, you said it in the opener that we just heard. It's about focus, and and we've said it earlier in the week. Each game is going to be bigger than the last, and someone questioned, well, how can this game of all games be bigger than the last week or the week before? Because the district title's wrapped up. We know we're coming back here next week against an opponent unknown. Because there's a lot of pride here in this stadium right now. It's senior night. You want to finish the district perfect, and it can be really easy to not get focused, to get distracted. But we've seen this team time and time again all season long overcome those distractions and come out on top. So I expect nothing to change tonight. Our
Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter is Mr. Daniel Garbarino. Daniel, we talked about this exact same thing in the pregame last week. The Elks did the job. Came out, got ahead 27-0. Were able to coast in the second half. What are your keys, or what are you going to be looking for tonight from the Brown and White to get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to sound like a broken record here, but in fact, it is the same exact scenario as last week, and I think I can't remember what my keys were last week, but this week I think if you went back and looked at the film from Woodward, our pad level was kind of high, right? And that shows a little bit of a lack of intensity, in my opinion. You tend to get lower when you're ready to go, raring ready to go. So I think if our pad level stays low, then we have a really good chance of the ground and pound, like you said in your preface. And, I think you'll see first half kind of the same thing, right? But the other key is our defensively, we have to stop their quarterback. Everything revolves around him. He is a playmaker. He's got a little bit of speed, and he can spin it. So we got to get him contained, and then I think we'll be fine.
He is Dorian Middleton, the senior quarterback, number 1 that you'll see on Big Elk TV here on Cool 94. He's also, Daniel, got a bunch of guys on the outside that if the Elks aren't focused and aren't making tackles in the open field, these guys can literally score from any spot on the field.
Yeah, super shifty, right? So we're going to have to be very, very conservative coming up to make the tackle because they're a very, very shifty group. Against Woodward, they had a couple of touchdowns that they had them hemmed in, and just a couple of moves here and there, and they're gone. So we have to be very conservative in our tackling coming up to get them, not trying to kill them, because they will get around us and get out. But yes, open field tackling very important tonight.
Another thing, Jared, that I've noticed on field watching a little bit of John Marshall is special teams, especially our kickoff coverage, punt coverage, has to stay in the lane because John Marshall has ran back multiple kicks for touchdowns this year.
Yeah, and all that tells me is just discipline. It's, like you said, staying in your lanes, and what Daniel said, just being sure of your tackle, and you'll be okay. But it's not over pursuing, not trying to overdo anything, just stay in those lanes, let that guy come to you, and I'm okay giving up a 25, 30-yard return as opposed to taking it to the house. So just staying in your lanes and being very, very disciplined against a team that has a lot of skill to them, a lot of speed.
As I mentioned, it is senior night tonight here at Big Elk Stadium. A bunch of these guys, I think 17 of them on the roster that will be playing their last regular season game on this field. It won't be the last time they lace up in the brown and white at Big Elk Stadium, but at least in the regular season it will be. We're about 26 minutes away from the kick. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Maynard. Also, senior Cale Poole stopped by and offered his thoughts on what's going on this week in the season, not only behind but also ahead. It is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football senior night here at Big Elk Stadium.
A United States financial management consulting group has just named the Bank of Western Oklahoma as one of its top 10 banking institutions in Oklahoma. This designation was awarded because of their superior customer service, organizational skills, and their compliance with state and federal banking regulations. Just another reason you should trust and do business with the Bank of Western Oklahoma, with locations in Woodward, Vici, Gary, Cordell, Weatherford, and Elk City. The Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people really do come first. Member FDIC.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
Western Technology Center has been educating high school juniors, seniors, and adults for over 40 years. WTC continues to train Oklahomans for the global workplace. With several programs available, many individuals have been able to find one that best serves their wants and needs, like business development, fire service training, industrial training, dental hygiene, and many other fields of study. With 5 campuses to choose from in Burns Flat, Sayre, Hobart, Weatherford, and Elk City, WTC is closer than you think. Contact the campus nearest you today or visit westtech.edu.
There's no better feeling than grilling out, and there's no better place than Ace to get the best grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. You won't find these premium brands and service at a warehouse store, only at your neighborhood Ace, around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their grills.
George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you, or shop online at elksupply.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is 100% fresh beef with 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins, and won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Welcome to this week's coach interview here on BigElkTV.com's pregame. Coach Easton, seems like old times, man. I mean, I called games when you were in high school.
Yeah, yes, it does seem that seems like yesterday, but it's been a while.
It certainly has, and I remember seeing you out there, a big tight end. I mean, I tell you straight up, you had it going on this year. The Big Elks have it going on. Johnny, tell us a little bit about what you think the secret of the success of this team is.
Man, these kids. They've worked their tails off. You know, last year's group is kind of showed them the way, and I think these guys have just taken that and ran with it. And it's they've bought in, and like I said, they've just worked really, really hard.
Unity is what I talked about last week, especially with the players. But Coach, I know that the coaching staff has to have that mutual respect, that gel, and it seems like our head coach is a guy that lets his coaches coach.
Oh yeah, no, he does. He and we got an awesome group, and the thing about it, we're all close too. You know, it's not just we like hanging out with each other after practice.
Not just a job.
No, not just a job. I mean, yeah, we're in there watching film and trying to get things done. But no, it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, no, Coach Maynard, he lets us do that. And we talked about that before the season got started. We broke down each drill we want to do. He said, "You guys tell me what you want to do, and with your position groups, and he just kind of let us run with it, and it's been a lot of fun."
Well, so far the District 4A championship is in the bag. This game, I don't think to use the term doesn't count, because it does count toward the inner workings of these young men. But I know, Coach, that this is one of those deals where you're going to go to week number 11. What is the thought process going into tonight's game?
Most important game of the year. We say that every week. I was just telling Skinny and Jared up there. Every week's most important game of the week. It's about us getting better. That's what we have to do going forward. We want to get better every week, and hopefully your best game's week 14.
John Marshall, what do you know about him?
Oh man, they're really athletic. The quarterback they have, he's number one. He can move and he throws the ball well. And they've got some good guys on the outside, and they got a lot of size up front. They've played people really tough this year. They haven't, and I credit that to the coaching staff too. Those kids are still playing hard. So I know they want to come down here and try to spoil the night for us.
They certainly do. Injuries last week, Coach, got a little banged up. We've lost some kids. Can you talk about that?
We've been fortunate all year. Been fairly healthy. Tucker Garza, our freshman, who's been playing outstanding for us. He probably won't be back. And then we had a few guys that will be okay. They're just banged up. I don't know if some of them aren't probably going to play a lot on Thursday night, but I think we'll have most of them back for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's my next question, Coach. A shortened week because of the weather situation. Has that had an effect on the team in any way?
It's kind of been business as usual because we've already played 2 Thursday night games, and that's helped. So we kind of had a good practice schedule, knew what to expect. So we made that call on Monday morning. So it really, practice we just kind of adapted to what we did those first 2 Thursday night games. So it hadn't been too much.
Well, that's good, Coach. I know that the community support, we talk about it every week because it's huge. It's big. It's big for the kids. It's big for the coaching staff. In that regard, how do you see what's happening right here in Elk City right now?
It's been a lot of fun. Me and Coach Gino, he helps us on the high school staff, and of course, it does a great job with the junior high program. But we've talked about that with the kids over the last couple of years. When you get something rolling, the community support's going to be awesome, and it's been awesome even throughout. But we got to see it firsthand when we were in school, and like I said, that's been a while ago. But no, it's been a lot of fun. It has.
Well, it certainly has been fun from our standpoint, too. Coach, again, thank you for what it is you and the staff are doing for the young men, and even on the character side, even bigger than the playing side.
No, that's the most important thing. Coach Maynard has talked about that. When we were getting started, this is back in last spring, we have a mission statement and what we want to do. And, of course, winning football games is very, very important. But, no, that's the biggest thing. You want these guys to grow up to be great leaders, great fathers, great husbands. And that's, when it's all said and done, honestly, that's the most important thing. But everyone wants to win, too.
That's it. Be great in the moment. Again, folks, we appreciate you being in this moment. We appreciate Johnny Easton for coming in and setting in for the coach. We're going to be back. We're going to have Jared Atha has returned this week. He's going to have a kid interview and more as we continue right here on BigElkTV.com, brought to you by the Bank of Western Oklahoma.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no brakes to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy, he is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
Welcome back to Big Elk TV, also Cool 94. It's the Big Elks taking on John Marshall, all presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Jared Atha with you here in the pregame. It's senior night, special night tonight, and a night earlier here on Thursday night. Hope you're on your way out to the Big Elk Stadium to watch the Big Elks wrap up the regular season against the Bears. With me right now is senior Cale Poole. I keep wanting to say Claypool, but that's wrong. Cale Poole with us, who's had a great season so far, great career with the Big Elks, and fortunately, this isn't the last night for you to play on this field because he locked up the district championship and get to play here next week against an opponent not known yet. But the focus is the Bears tonight. But before we get to them, let's talk about that season that we've just had, or we're about to wrap up. Talk about it. I mean, it's been an incredible ride.
Yeah, it's been fun for sure. Going into the season, we knew we were going to be pretty good, but we just had to show it to the state of Oklahoma. So, you know, winning districts is real big, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is to end the season on a win and bring home the trophy. So,
last season was fun because of the run that they made in the playoffs all the way to the semifinal. And, you know, and that was a really heavy senior class that moved on. And you're right, there's a lot of people that were probably thinking, you know, what's this team going to be like? There's a lot of unknowns, but you said it. You guys knew you're going to be good.
Yeah, we knew coming into the season. We had a lot of great seniors last year, but going into this year, we knew we were just as good as them, maybe even better, but we just got to prove it to ourselves and just keep going.
You play both sides of the ball. I've seen a lot of impact defensively. Last week you had the fumble recovery. You've done a lot of good things. Talk about that. Talk about the Woodward last week and in that particular play.
Well, I filled the hole wrong, and we had to do the 2 whistle drill, so I was just going to get the guy at the ball, and then it fumbled, and I picked it up, and I was just saying, run. Just run.
You admitted a mistake, but you made up for it all in one play. Yeah. That's awesome. Let's talk about John Marshall coming into tonight. How's the focus been? I know there's been kind of a lot of distractions with the game being moved up a day. And then, of course, the district title is in the bag. It's senior night. But outside of all of that, what have you seen on film from the Bears?
They have some good players. We just got to – if we play our game and they play their game, I mean, we'll come out on top no matter what. But we just got to – we can't look down on them. We can't hang our heads on them. We got to go out and we got to play like we know how we're going to play.
Yeah, I always forget to ask these seniors this question. It only occurs to me when it is senior night, so I apologize to the other seniors who aren't with us right now. But it is senior night, and, you know, again, not the last game here at Big Oak Stadium, but the last regular season game, and you know, get to recognize some people. What has that been like for you playing, wearing the brown and white as a Big Elk?
It's been fun. It's been really fun, and community has always been behind us no matter what, especially this year and last year with the playoff runs, and this year's going to be even bigger. So, I mean, it's been fun. The community's with us. The whole town's with us. I mean, if we want to go all the way, we can.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great career, but let's play to the December. How about that?
We're going to try.
All right. All right. Stay healthy, buddy. Okay, go get them. All right, keep it right here. We have the kickoff, the coin flip, national anthem, all the pregame festivities coming your way. It is Big Elk TV, Cool 94, all presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma.
Buying and selling a home is a huge deal. Buyers are excited to get into a house they really want. Sellers are happy they can move on to the next phase in their life. But behind the scenes, someone's got to handle all that paperwork. And if things don't go right, the deal falls through. That's why buyers, sellers, and realtors all like working with Billy and Jennifer Smith. They're professional, they're thorough, and they're good. Smith Title and Closing, Broadway and Randall in Elk City. Outstanding opening, exceptional closing.
Paul Jones Drug in Elk City invites you to their modern and convenient facility at 809 North Main Street. They've made it easier than ever to serve their customers, complete with a drive-through window, expanded compounding lab, and tons of parking. And Paul Jones Drug offers free delivery in the Elk City area. Paul Jones Drug is locally owned and operated by Rodney Skinner. He and his staff are always friendly and knowledgeable. Come check out Paul Jones Drug, 809 North Main Street in Elk City. Paul Jones Drug, care you can trust.
Bobby Joe Cudd started with one piece of equipment and one small crew in Woodward, Oklahoma back in 1977. Now, that company works across the country and around the world. It's Cudd Energy Services. When the bottom fell out of the oil field in the early 1980s, Cudd stuck it out and kept going. Ever since, when newcomers closed the doors, Cudd kept working. Cudd is still here, doing more than ever to harness the power of our natural resources. Cudd Energy Services, here to stay.
Big Elk Auto Mall in Elk City is your one-stop automotive shop. In one location, you'll find professional automotive services like gas and diesel mechanics, expert exhaust installation, and certified auto body technicians who do it all from detailing to frame-off restorations. Owned by local guys with local ties, and they're fully insured. They're located in the old Summer J building across from the Elk City Convention Center. And at Big Elk Auto Mall, a percentage of every sale goes directly to the Elk City High School Athletics Program. If you need it, they do it. All insurances are accepted. Go Big Elks. Say habla español.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
Welcome back, Big Elk Stadium. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Elk City football. Tonight it's senior night here with the final regular season game on this field. The 8-1 Class 4A District 1 champion Elk City Elks taking on the 2-7 John Marshall Bears. Don't let that fool you, though. John Marshall has some really, really good athletes that we're going to see out here tonight as the captains make their way to the center of the field. We're going to pause, and we're going to have the national anthem being sung by the senior choir.
Renee Hunter, Sarah Hoodwin, Marie Pitcher, Ann Click, Cooper Twyman, Jamie Garcia, Josh McDowell, Dylan Cooksey, Mackenzie Armstrong, Rachel Hutton, and Haley Reed. And now for the singing of our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Fantastic rendition of the national anthem there by the senior members of the Elk City Choir. Both captains are out there for the John Marshall Bell to be Elijah Kirby. It's also going to be number 76 standing there. Where did I see his number? Josiah Leal. And also number 57 is Victor Owaduga. Victor Owaduga. For the Elks,
sounds good to me.
For the Elks, the entire senior class is going to be out on the sideline. Only 4 of the guys will be in the middle. It'll be number 12 senior quarterback Austin Jones, number 27 linebacker Sammy Leal, the fullback 26 is Levy Owens, and also number 7 Cooper Patton. The other guys, it's Keith. I tell you what, get it down to your Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter Daniel Garbarino.
Elijah, I'm Robert Morales. I'll be your referee tonight. Gentlemen, good luck. I want to let you know that it's an honor to be out here calling your football game. As captains of your team, you represent your school, your community, and your coaches, okay? So we ask that you display good sportsmanship all through the game. All right, with that said, I've got a coin, and that's going to be heads. This side is tails. I'm going to flip it. While it's in the air, I'm going to ask you to call it. I'm going to ask you what it is called, okay? Heads. What did he call?
Heads.
Heads. It is heads. You have won the toss, so you're going to defer. Okay. John Marshall has won the toss.
It was heads.
So John Marshall wins the toss. They elect to defer. The Elks will be receiving the football first. I would imagine they'll be heading north to south into the breeze here in the first quarter. Let's quickly run down the rest of the seniors standing out there. You got 44 Colt Murray, 2 Devin Simmons, 6 Aiden Long, 79 Cade Martinez, 11 is Matthew Thompson, 8 is Tyler Moyer, 48 is Aiden Hopper, 24 is Cale Poole, 56 is Trace Decker, number 1 is Caden Holder, number 20 is Nick Medina, 76 is Logan Trevino, 55 Gage Eastman, and number 5 is Kai Keys. Those were all the senior captains out there tonight for the Big Elks. They're wearing their brown over brown uniforms, 2 double white stripes up and down either side of their pants, white helmet with a vertical brown stripe from front to back, the interlocking EC in brown on either side. For the Bears, white over white with a red stripe up the helmet, blue numbers front and back, and a red helmet for the John Marshall Bears as they kind of stroll onto the field on the east side of Big Elk Stadium. On the north, in the north end zone, there's smoke, there's wind, there's the helmet, as we await the Elks to come flying onto the field from the north end zone to the south, and they're led on the field by the 2 American flags. Tyler Moyer and Braxton Robertson on either side, flanking Big Levy Owens with the brown EC flag with the white interlocking Elk City logo. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID before we hit the Sonic starting lineup. This is the Bank of West, or this is Big Elk football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City, Cool 94.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Elk City football. Senior night tonight is the Elks face the John Marshall Bears. We got your Sonic starting lineup. Thank you to Linda and DJ Leal at Sonic America's Drive-In. This is how you Sonic. The Elks will start with the ball first, and they'll have the left tackle, number 57, is Carson Price, a junior. Right next to him, the left guard is number 62, junior Riley Boyd. The center is another junior, 59, Holden Dixon. And then the guys on the right side, both seniors, Aiden Long and also Logan Trevino. The quarterback is senior Austin Jones. Right behind him will be the big fullback, senior Levy Owens. Interested to see who the wingbacks will be. We know one of those will be senior Cooper Patton. Will it be Garbarino or Matthew Thompson? We'll see as that develops. And then on the outside, Caden Holder has made huge plays over the last couple of weeks. He's averaging 42 yards a catch on his 6 receptions this season with now 3 touchdowns. Cole Bowie will be out there. Devin Simmons will be out there. Kai Keys will be out there as well. That is your Sonic starting lineup. Thank you to Linda and DJ Lil at Sonic. This is how you Sonic. I actually, Jared, enjoyed a couple of 50-cent corn dogs on Halloween Monday for lunch there at the local Sonic right here on 3rd Street in Elk City.
50-cent corn. I guess my invite got lost in the mail there, Aaron.
Man, come on.
I would love to join you for some 50-cent corn dogs.
They were fantastic,
yes,
as you
they
remember.
Are good over there.
I'm an LSU
Sonic
fan, so corn dogs, let's go. You're going to see our hands team out here probably on every kickoff because of the short shortness of their kick, and they do not kick extra points either.
Is that 8?
That's 6 kicking off.
Yeah, okay, all right. I had 6 on our little sheet. Actually, I had 5, so this will be 6.
Kicking off will be number 6.
That's Terrence Caldwell.
Terrence Caldwell.
John Marshall elected to go into the wind here in the first half. Strong south wind, right to left on your radio dial. So John Marshall kicking left to right. It doesn't appear that is that ball on a tee?
It is not.
It didn't look like it. The Elks creeping up. Everybody's within 40 yards of the football. Caldwell ready to go for the John Marshall Bears. We're underway. It's just kind of a line drive. Lands in the middle of the field. The Elks just cover it. Kai Keys on it at the 32, and that's where the Elks will start 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Here, this is something I don't think we've touched on. This is the most dangerous thing. This is their Super Bowl. This is their state championship game. This is their last game. There's no playoff scenario for John Marshall, and that makes for a team that can be very, very dangerous to play on top of everything else that we've said. So we need to be on our toes tonight.
We got senior Creighton Sandersfield, 58. He was a guy I didn't see in the last game out there at the linebacking spot. 1st and 10 Elks from their own 32. First play of the game in motion is Patton. Handoff up the middle. It's Owens. Levy trying to break a tackle. He's going to be submarine down as Dorian Middleton came flying in there to help out big DeMontre Hurd. It's a gain of only 2 to the 34.
They've got some size on the line.
And that's where it's going to be won, as usual. Getting some inside information this morning on Skinny on Sports. If we take care of business in the trenches, we'll have some success.
2nd down and 8. Elks snapping in the middle of the field from their own 34. In motion is Garbarino. Jones is going to run the option, keeps it, crosses the 35, dives forward for a couple, giving 3 to the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Elks on their opening possession.
Another thing we didn't really mention was the wind. This wind is howling straight out of the south. Of course, we've got the rain chances later tonight. Don't think it's going to be a problem in this game. Interested to see how that affects the play calling as far as airing it out.
3rd and 5 Elks at their own 37-yard line. And the John Marshall Bears might have given Elk City a freebie. They jump offside. I think they're going to march it right to the stripe. Right to the yard to gain, and they do. A 5-yard penalty on 3rd and 5 makes the first Moxie Realty first down of the night. Amy Robbins at MoxieRealty.com. The Elks are moving the chains, and Moxie makes it happen. 1st and 10 Elks from their own 42. Just underway here. No score on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. George and Jim Bob Browning and Ace the Helpful Place. Visits your locally owned Ace Home Center nearest you. 2 receivers left. They're going to run the trap play to Garbarino. Cooper trying to break a tackle. Can't, and then he's slung down after he was on the ground. Nice tackle there coming in from Jeremy Rideau of John Marshall. Gain of 2 yards on 1st down.
Good to see Cooper back offensively.
No doubt about it. Poole checks into the lineup, replacing Simmons at one of the receiver spots for the Elks. He'll split out to the right. Patton in the slot. Holder outside the hash here on the near side of the field. In motion left to right is Garbarino. Quick pass out in the flat is to Patton and sent it out of the hands of Cooper Patton. Incomplete. 3rd down.
Now whistle came late and they stood there. I was afraid. I'm always scared of those passes that they'd be laterals, that the line judge would see it as a lateral, and he was kind of late on the whistle. Fortunately, it was incomplete.
Yeah, Cooper was looking to run before he was able to haul it in. Holder had done a good job on the initial block out in front of him. That could have been a huge play for the Elks. Instead, it's incomplete. 3rd down and 8. Elk City at their own 44. 2 receivers split to the left. Jones sends Patton in motion. Jet sweep action. He's got a hold at the 45 to the 50. Breaks it to the outside. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Middleton comes and shoves him out of the bounds inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone at the 18-yard line. But flag in the middle of the field at the Elk City 48.
I didn't see anything, but You guys have better eyes than I do.
Holding against the Elks, marking it back to the 38-yard line. 38-yard run negated by the penalty. And a Moxie Realty first down negated by the penalty. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14 for the Elks back at their own 38. Cole Bowie will check into the lineup. He'll split left at the near side of the field, the short side of the field. 2 receivers right. It's Keys outside, Garbarino in the slot. Under center is Austin Jones. Play action, rolling right, throwing it back to Bowie. He's open at the 35, makes a move inside of the 40, breaks the tackle to 45 to the 50, 45-40. Slip arms a man at the 35. He's going to be dragged out of bounds as he reaches the 31-yard line. Beautiful little throwback screen to Bowie. That's 31 yards and a Moxie Realty first down for the Elk City Elks.
Yeah, perfectly set up. They had the whole defense going to our right and throw back to the left, and Cole's got enough speed and some jukes there to get outside.
Yeah, I like how he caught it. He went back into the defense. Like you said, they're all shifted that way. He used that to his advantage. Good job, Cole Bowie.
9 minutes to play on the first quarter clock. No score. Elks and the John Marshall Bears. Elk City has it 1st and 10 at the John Marshall 31. In motion is Garbarino. They hand it to him. Coop has a hole. 25 dances into a tackle. Breaks one almost. Was able to keep his feet right around the first down marker. If he could have kind of stumbled, put his hand down, if he could have kept his feet, that might have been 6. Instead, it's a gain of 9 on first down.
I'll refer to his pops down there. Is he still a little ginger when a little iffy about taking hits?
Yeah, I think the right sternum area where the collarbone connects to the sternum is a little sore still, but he's getting better.
It's a trust thing to take a first hit a couple times, take a hit a couple times.
Flex bone in motion is Garbarino. Hand off to Levy. Crosses the 20. Dives down toward the 15-yard line. He needed 1. He got 7. And it's another Moxie Realty first down for the Elk City Elks. Back inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone. Scott Brown, David and April Pena at Big Elk Auto Mall. They do it all. And I do mean they do it all. If you need it, they do it. Collision repair, paint and body, color correction, bed lining, detailing, window tinting, stereos and upholstery, and more.
I need to call them. I got a question for them.
7:50 to play in the first quarter. The Elks have it 1st and 10 at the John Marshall 15. No score opening possession of the game. In motion right to left is Patton. The trap play back to Garbarino. Splits a tackle and splits through a little hole at the 15. He's going to be wrapped up after a 4-yard gain to the 11.
I told him that shirt hanging out from underneath his jersey is going to hurt him at some point, and they grabbed it.
Elks having a lot of success using a lot of the misdirection. We've seen it all year, and they're really getting John Marshall to kind of run on the balls of their feet, trying to plant it and go back the other way.
Mark him down at the 12, so just a 3-yard gain there for Garbarino. 2nd down and 7 for the Elks at the John Marshall 12. Under center is Jones. Austin turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens pushing the pile down toward the 5-yard line, inside the 5. Mark him at about the 3, 9 yards, and another Moxie Realty first down for the Elks. 1st and goal at the John Marshall 3 with 6:50 to play in the first quarter. So the Elks have already taken 5-10 off this first quarter clock, looking to put the first points on that Ace Home Center scoreboard.
Like to see it when they got a lot of skill guys on their side. You just want to, that's your best best defense is your offense. Just keeping them on the sideline, taking a lot of time off the clock. Let's end this with some points.
2 receivers near the formation. In motion is Patton. They hand it off to Owens. Owens dances outside, bowls over a man. Middleton tried to wrap him up low. He couldn't do it, and Levy Owens is 3 yards into the end zone for a touchdown for the Big Elks.
That's a desire run right there. He could have gone down, but he was ready to go. Senior night, he's a senior. Wanted to get in, he got in.
This crowd wasn't sure if he got in or not. We could see it thanks to our nice camera work upstairs. Good job, and you're right, Daniel. It was all desire.
7th touchdown on the ground for Levy Owens this season. 13-play drive that covered 68 yards. Brian Gonzalez on to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. That looked right down Broadway, and it is. Brian's got some bright shoes on tonight that we hadn't seen yet, Daniel. Great drive to open this one for the Elks.
Yeah, he went with the soccer cleats tonight, folks. He's got good feel on the soccer cleats.
7-0 Elk City with 6:26 to play in the first quarter on that Ace Home Center scoreboard. That voice you hear down on the Pioneer Cellular sideline is Mr. Daniel Garbarino. State Farm agent here in town. All the replays on BigElkTV.com are State Farm replays. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Jared can't ask for much more on an opening drive than that.
I like the, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record because it is week 10, but they've overcome a lot of mistakes. The holding that brought them all the way back to 3rd and 14, and then boom, Cole Bowie goes and gets the first down and sets up what you just saw. So mentally, I guess that's the theme tonight, is staying focused. That you could have easily just said, okay, we're going to get what we can and punt it. That's not in the cards for the Big Elks tonight. They look focused, and that's a way to start the ball game. Holding on to it for about half the quarter, and in it was 7 points.
Yeah, fantastic way to start the quarter. Looks like we're going to have our 4th kicker in 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
I was just trying to remember how many. There was 3 last week kickoff up in Woodward. Now Garbarino will do the honors for the Elks.
Is this an audition or?
He's got it teed up on the right hash, far side of the field. High directional kick taken by Lawrence at the 16. Lawrence looking for some room up the middle, bounces it outside, and he's going to be hammered from behind by Cooper Patton as Cooper steps to the front of the Barber Dyson Ford tough hit list. Bruce Barber, David and Corbin Dyson experience the Barber Dyson difference. We'll name a tough hit of the game at the end of this one. Also, we'll have the Culver electrifying play of the game. Brandon and Jill Culver at Culver Electric. Don't get your wires crossed. And, of course, the McDonald's player of the game, the Phillips family of McDonald's, Clinton, Weatherford, Elk City. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Dorian Middleton is the quarterback. He's in the pistol. Snap back, handoff up the middle, trying to break it to the outside, and unable to do it was Kylan Drennan. Drennan's going to be pulled down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Trace Decker, we saw him go out of the game kind of midway through the first half last week. He looks just fine here on senior night. 2nd and 10 for the John Marshall Bears back at their own 24, 5 wide. Snap, Middleton looks right, throws it over the middle. It's incomplete. Looking there for Terrence Caldwell. It was just a little wide of him. Poole almost came up with a diving interception. Incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Bears.
Yeah, a little one-hopper there, and I'm standing right where he was throwing it right towards me, and the ball, you could see the ball move in the wind down to the left.
Yeah, that wind's going to be a big factor.
H-back behind the tight end is Aiden Clayton. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Middleton wasn't ready for the snap. Rolls to the right, looking for some room to run. He looking now. He throws back across the middle of the field. Incomplete as Poole saw it. It skipped in there, intended for Caldwell. Incomplete. That brings up a 4th down for the John Marshall Bears. Let's see what they want to do.
There's no flag there at all?
No, he wasn't ready for the snap. Neither was running back. He tried to go through the play, and his running back was still looking at the sideline. Didn't know the play was actually happening. They're fortunate there.
And that's where he can hurt you right there on that rollout and scrambling a little bit. We did a good job of containing there.
So we've got Bowie standing at the midfield stripe, Garbarino at the John Marshall 40. That's Terrence Caldwell waiting on the snap back inside his own 15. A little bit high. Caldwell brings it down. High end over end kick that the wind has, and it's blowing it backwards. It's going to land inside the John Marshall 35 and take a big Elk bounce back to about the 27 or 8. That's going to end up being about a 2 or 3 yard punt.
2 or 3
punt.
Yeah, I was being generous, holding up 4 fingers. No, that's not even that much.
They're marking it at the 28, so give him a 3-yard punt. Man, you could see, like Daniel mentioned there on the pass, and then when that ball got up spinning into the wind, it had 0 chance. You wonder if that might be the last time they try that. No matter where they're at on the field, just go for it.
This quarter.
Yeah, into the wind.
If the wind's at your back, you're going to feel a bit more confident doing it.
So the Elks with a chance to take a 2-score lead on that Ace Home Center scoreboard. 1st and 10 is the John Marshall 28, 5:34 to play in the first quarter, 7-0 Elk City. Garbarino in motion left to right. Jones turns. He's going to be chased throws a pass down the far sideline. Had to get rid of it a little bit quicker than he wanted to because Clayton and also Ahmad Kirby were bearing down on him from behind over the outstretched arm of Garbarino, incomplete.
I couldn't tell if that ball was catchable even.
It was over. Okay. Yeah, it was over Coop's head.
Yeah.
Looked like he turned a little too quick to me, Cooper, instead of running.
I mean, should we tell you he should have caught it?
Yes.
2nd and 10 Elks at the John Marshall 28. Under center is Jones. Jet sweep looking for a hole right to left is Patton. He's got it. Cuts it up at the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Cooper Patton is into the end zone from 28 yards out. It's a touchdown for the Big Elks. 13-0 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard with 5:22 left in the first quarter.
By the time he made that cut, got past that first attempted arm tackle, he could practically jog in.
Yeah, he kind of had a little convoy out there, too.
Yeah.
I don't know who was out in front of him, but it looked like there was no one in white jerseys.
That was Garbarino. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Garbarino just kind of escorted Cooper Patton into the end zone. Brian Gonzalez on to attempt the extra point. Good snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's a line drive. Did he tuck it inside the left upright? No, he didn't. You got it. Now, listen, I understand that the hurdling of a player. Dorian Middleton just hurdled the line.
You cannot.
You can't do
go
that.
over the center.
Look back at the. Do you have a replay?
I got it right here.
If it's the center, you can't even get close to him now.
And we're about to see it on the State Farm replay.
He went right over
the center.
Tough break there for Brian because he looked up and Dorian was right in his face. So the extra point is no good. Makes the score 13-0. The Elks lead on the Ace Home Center scoreboard with 5:22 to play on the first quarter clock. That drive, 2 plays, 28 yards, capped off by the 28-yard touchdown run by Cooper Patton. Patton obviously been one of the more explosive players for the Elks. He's averaging 12.5 a carry. That'll help that average. Plus, that's his also 7th touchdown on the ground.
I got little kids waving at me from the stands down here. So you turned that light on, they all looked up. It was funny.
It's Garbarino to kick. Same one, directional. This is going to go out of bounds over Middleton's head. As they moved Middleton to the near side to try to get him a chance to recover or to return one. May have been a little bit too much wind behind Cooper on that one. Let's see if they'll just take it at the 35 or make the Elks kick it again. I think they're going to make the Elks kick it again.
I think you're right.
They've chosen to accept the penalty. 5 yards deep, free kick.
So the Elks will kick it from the 35-yard line. Middleton will now be up around the 25. Coop's got a decent leg.
I think you kick it away from one.
Oh, I do too. Wherever he moves to, kick it the other way.
Kick it to one.
Well, the tee's in a different spot.
He's going
right
middle.
in the middle of the field.
Oh, there goes one.
There goes Middleton. Little cat and mouse game here on the special teams. Middleton, Drennan, and Lawrence standing at the 20. Garbarino high, angled it to the right. It's going to land at the 10. They better hope that goes in the end zone. It does. It stops right at the 5. Middleton picks it up looking for a hole, and he's going to be hammered down at about the 12-yard line. Perfect job by Garbarino, looking like his dad's sand wedge there as it just stuck at the 5-yard line.
I've got the yips. So,
oh, no.
I mean, it's definitely not my sand wedge.
Well, you kicked it away from him or over his head, and he still picked it up. That's great coverage. You're staying in your lane.
It was, man. It was a good little backspin on
because
it.
You could see where if the ball's like that, everyone suddenly breaks towards it, and you give up that, that coverage. Good job.
So mark it at the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bears. 2 receivers left, one to the right, and H-back on the right. Snap back, handoff. Drennan looking for some room to run on the outside. He's got it at the 15. Going to be knocked off his feet by Patton. Nice tackle there by Cooper at the 20. It's going to be a gain of 9 yards on first down for Kylan Drennan.
Kylan Drennan on the carry.
Yeah, he just kind of sensed that hit was coming. Everyone held their breath, and boom.
That's Patton's 2nd nomination. Oh, they give him the first down.
They did.
Just near the 21. So first down for John Marshall, the opening first down of the night in 2 positions for the Bears. Middleton in the shotgun. Hands it off to Drennan, looking for a hole on the left side. The Elks do a much better job this time stringing it out. Looked like Gage Eastman with first contact there from his nose guard spot, knocking him down after a gain of about a half a yard.
Stop for no gain. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
We got a timeout, officials timeout. What do we got here?
We've got an officials Western Technology Center timeout. Yes. They're going to make Middleton come out of the game for a play.
Did he lose his helmet?
Typically, that's an equipment issue.
It was behind. I didn't see if he lost it. So Caldwell is going to come in and run the quarterback spot here for this play. And then now checking into the game is going to be Ahmad Kirby. A little bit of a...
No, they're checking him, looks like for a head type situation.
So Caldwell takes a snap, hands it off to Drennan. Drennan's going to be snowed under in the backfield by a herd of Elks. Sammy, also Nick Medina. No, actually, that's Robertson. Braxton Robertson, first contact. It's a loss from the 21 back to about the 17-yard line. 4-yard loss brings up 3rd down and 13 for John Marshall.
John Marshall's trainer's checking his right knee. Middleton's.
Well, that's obviously
not hard to spot him over there. There's only about 9.
And there's 3 people in the stands for those of you listening on the other side. And one's the bus driver.
3rd down and 13. John Marshall back at their own 17. Caldwell takes the snap, drops back, looks left, throws a long pass down the far sideline. Receiver cut inside. It's Brandon Russell. The ball was thrown down the sideline, so it's incomplete. That brings up a 4th down. We'll see what the Bears want to do here as the Elks put the punt return unit on. The last punt got up in the wind and ended up being a 2-yard punt. See if Caldwell can hit one a little bit lower this time. Those guys in the middle here have got to be alert.
Yeah, you don't want to scamper back and get hit by one.
Caldwell, high snap, brings it down. This kick is off the side of his foot. It's going to work out all right, though. It bounces right away from Bowie. Cole lets it roll, and that's going to work out pretty well for John Marshall. It'll end up being a 32-yard punt from the 17 to their own 49, but the Elks with fantastic field position again here. 1st and 10 at their own 49, leading 13-0 with 3:14 left to play here in the first quarter. Let's thank Main Street Coffee and Cafe, Tammy, Kelsey, and Madison. Main Street Coffee and Cafe, the best place to be in downtown Elk City. Also, our good friend Rodney Skinner at Paul Jones Drug. Paul Jones Drug is care you can trust with free delivery in the Elk City area. It's Rodney Skinner at Paul Jones Drug. 1st and 10 Elks marching right to left here in the first quarter from the John Marshall 49. We got the flex bone. In motion is Bowie left to right. It's going to be the handoff up the middle, spinning down inside the 45 to the 41. Jaden Wynn with a gain of 8, his first carry of the night.
Got a little score update. Newcastle up on Bethany 7-0.
That's an important game for next week.
Be a lot of eyes on that one. You've gone over the scenarios at halftime when we have the time. You can go over them again for 4A2 to try to determine who we got next week.
Pretty simple. Newcastle beats Bethany. We got Bethany. Handoff up the middle to Jaden Wynn again. He crosses the 40 near the 1st down marker. I think he's going to be just a tick shy after a gain of 1. Bring up 3rd down, maybe about a half a yard for the Elks at the John Marshall 40. Yeah, and then that would mean, so Tuttle and Blanchard would theoretically be tied, and Blanchard beat Tuttle, so Blanchard would be the district champ. Thompson in motion right to left. The Elks trying to jaw John Marshall offside. Didn't work. They'll reset, flex bone. Jones up the middle, has a quarterback sneak. He's got a Moxie Realty 1st down, needed a yard and got 3 down to the John Marshall 37. I know it's hard to see from down there, but from up here, as soon as Matthew Thompson got set, you could see that that's what play was coming. Austin just walked up there, kind of goosed Carson or Holden, and boom, there they went. Price, Boyd, Dixon, Long, and Trevino, the offensive line for the Elks, dominating so far. 1st and 10 Elk City at the John Marshall 37. Going to run the option play. Jones kind of cut it back inside at the 35, trying to break a tackle. Can't slip away. Gain down to the 32, maybe the 33. I think he gave him the 32, so a 5-yard gain on 1st down for Austin.
It's a nice run.
Yeah, good decision on the option there to get your 5 and go on.
Keys will check into the lineup for Caden Holder, the receiver spot here. 2nd down and 5 for the Elks. The John Marshall 32 with a minute to play on the first quarter clock. Elk City leads 13-0. In motion is Bowie. It's going to be the trap play inside as Thompson breaks a tackle up to 20, and he can't quite slip away as Drennan made a touchdown saving tackle. As Thompson got his shoulder pads turned upfield at the 25, Drennan cut him down at the 20. It's a 12-yard gain, but another Moxie Realty first down for the Elks.
Yeah, natural instinct would make you think that he should try to get the edge. That's a good vision right there to cut it up when he did and get the first down.
And those plays are working. Their interior linemen are slanting to prevent, you prepare for Levy, right? You prepare for 26 to keep him from going up the middle. So that play, there's actually a gap there in the 5 gap, and they're coming in right there. Trap's working well.
1st and 10 Elks at the John Marshall 20. Pass rolling right as Jones tries to escape some pressure. He's going to be thrown down as Kirby came in and got the sack back at about the 23-yard line. A loss of 3. Looks like that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. Productive first quarter for the Elk City Elks here on senior night at Big Elk Stadium. The Elks lead 13-0 after 1. Come back for second quarter action. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Paul Jones Drug in Elk City invites you to their modern and convenient facility at 809 North Main Street. They've made it easier than ever to serve their customers, complete with a drive-through window, expanded compounding lab, and tons of parking. And Paul Jones Drug offers free delivery in the Elk City area. Paul Jones Drug is locally owned and operated by Rodney Skinner. He and his staff are always friendly and knowledgeable. Come check out Paul Jones Drug, 809 North Main Street in Elk City. Paul Jones Drug, care you can trust.
Our Western roots run deep at the Bank of Western Oklahoma. We believe a handshake truly is a binding contract, and that by working together, we can all prosper. We're proud to have 3 generations working with you at the Bank of Western Oklahoma, because here, people come first. Learn more about the benefits of banking locally at bankofwesternoklahoma.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back. Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football. 13-0 Elk City as we hit the second quarter. The Elks dominating on the scoreboard and the stat sheet. 126 yards of total offense in the first quarter for Elk City, only 7 for John Marshall. 95 on the ground, 31 through the air for the Elks. They've got a 2nd down and 13 at the John Marshall 23. Jones under center, hands it off to Wynn. Wynn makes a spin move to the 15, trying to drag a tackler toward the first down marker. He's going to be close.
Right at the 11.
Got to the 11-yard line, about a half yard short maybe.
1 full.
1 full yard. Okay, so gain of 12 for Wynn. Bring up 3rd and a yard for the Elks.
Yeah, they were expecting us to throw the ball there, and their linebackers dropped. Left it wide open. Great spin move by Jaden.
The Elks marching into the south wind, left to right, which is north to south on your radio dial here in the second quarter. 3rd down and a yard at the John Marshall 11 inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone. Jones under center since Thompson right to left in motion. Snap, handoff, Jaden Wynn makes a cut, has the first down inside the 10-yard line. He's wrapped up to the 9 as the big hogs for the Elk City offensive line start shoving, and Jaden stayed on his feet and got in the end zone, but the whistle blew after a gain of 2 and another Moxie Realty first down. 1st and goal Elks at the John Marshall 9.
That darn forward progress.
I was kind of wishing for the forward progress, and I was like, no, stop, let me go.
Elk City leads 13-0 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard a minute into the second quarter. And they've got a 1st and goal at the John Marshall 9. 2 receivers tight to the formation on the right. In motion goes Bowie. Handoff up the middle. It's Wynn. Makes a spin move with the 5. Diving down toward the end zone. He's in there. Jaden Wynn from 9 yards out. And the Elks have 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and they lead 19-0 with 10:45 to play here on the second quarter clock.
What a spin move.
We are spinning. Everybody's spinning tonight.
That's great. What a good run.
That's rolled off that tackle.
Sophomore Jaden Wynn plunges in from 9 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the year. Did Brian change shoes?
He did.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It's blocked.
He went over
once
him again. He did it again.
Once again, Middleton's jumping right over the center to block that kick.
And that's what the Big Elk coaching staff is asking. So Maynard's coming out to the side judge asking him what's going on here. Why don't you just walk on over there, Daniel?
Well, I don't want to get into trouble.
Well, we need you for the rest of the game.
But that is...
It's clear he's jumping over. If you're going to penalize somebody for hurdling, that's a hurdle.
And he's coming dead over the center. And you might see somebody just come up and blow that up.
Well, yeah. That's when you tell your center to stand straight up and flip him over.
Yep.
Which happened to me versus UTEP. And that was before it was illegal. It was before it was illegal. It did happen. It was quite hurtful. Shoulder separation.
So it's 19-0 Elks with 10:45 to play here in the second quarter. If I can do the math quick enough. Where are they at? 120, what's the total yardage? 126 and 32? 158? Garbarino to kick into the wind this time. High, end over end. And fair catch called for. The ball's loose on the ground. John Marshall picks it up. Middleton tried to make a move at the 30-yard line. He was stacked up by the Ocho. Tyler Moyer at the 33.
Once a fair catch is called, you cannot advance it, correct?
That's what I thought.
Because that happened in a college game last night.
I'll plead ignorance. That applies to the entire team?
Yeah. I mean, the same thing happened last night. Kid called for a fair catch. Another kid caught it and took off running. It's where the catch is made, is where the ball is spotted.
Jamison, 131.
115 total yards for Elk. 31 for Sean Marshall.
That was 7.
How was that?
Snapback, hang on, Middleton to the right. Ooh, sailed that one, incomplete on the far sideline. That's incomplete. Hopper and Ty Jamison in there for Decker and Eastman. 146 total yards and 3 drives for the Elks. A big part of why they're ahead 19-0, just underway second quarter. Middleton is back in there, so that's good to see. As he had to go off last possession for the Bears. He's standing in the pistol. A couple of H-backs to his left. Snap, handoff up the middle. Drennan nowhere to go as he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Lean forward for the yard. Reese Burton, Blake Red on the tackle there for the Elks.
You know, you're kind of surprised. You saw what Woodward did to us last week with the Wildcat and how much success that they had. I mean, they didn't get any points out of it, but they were able to move the ball a little bit. Maybe this is their version, possibly.
Yeah, I'm surprised one hadn't taken off running yet. Third down and about 8.5. Middleton looks over the middle, fires the pass. Is going to be complete to Lawrence. Lawrence trying to get to the first down yardage. He didn't. They're going to give it to him, but he absolutely didn't get there. We have a perfect view right down the line. An extra yard to the 43, and it's going to be enough for a first down for John Marshall.
Did you see one through that sidearm?
Yeah, I hadn't seen him throw one over
over his head.
Over his head,
that was just a flick right there. Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the Kyler Murray style of throwing, just kind of flicking it sidearm, 3/4 arm.
8-yard completion from Middleton to Lawrence, and it's the second first down of the night for John Marshall at their own 43. Middleton in the shotgun, Drennan to his right. Snap back, Middleton drops straight back, pressure, throws a long pass down the far sideline. Holder's there, goes up. Nice job by Caden Holder, knocking it away from Lawrence, giving up, about a helmet in size. Incomplete, second down.
Just timing it. It's good coverage and just timing it. He turned around. He found the wide receiver, turned around to the right time and put his hand up.
Second down and 10 for the John Marshall Bears at their own 43. 9:28 to play in the first half, 19-0 Elk City. Middleton takes the snap, handoff up the middle, Drennan has a hole, breaks it to the outside of the 50, 45 far sideline, shoved out of bounds by Holder at the Elk City 45-yard line. Now they give him the 47, but it's exactly 10 yards and another first down for the Bears. Reese Burton and Braxton Robertson, the middle linebackers, this possession, as Sammy has come out over here on the sideline. First and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 47. Snap back, faking the handoff. Middleton looking for a hole on the outside. Nice job there in the open field by Cale Poole, wrapping him up. The Ocho cleaned it up after a gain of 2 to the 45.
And you can see right there how speedy he can get in some space. That's good tackling, just wrapping up his feet right there, and there's Moyer to finish it off.
Jeremy Rideau checks into the lineup for John Marshall. Yeah, Daniel, I think you spotted something. These guys, the formations are a lot more tighter. They've got a lot more guys in there blocking, trying to use the run game against the Elks. 2nd and 8. John Marshall at the Elk City 45, rolling right and just tucking it under his Middleton, looking for a hole. There's Cale Poole to come up and chop him down as he goes out of bounds. Where?
That was a good job of stringing that one out.
Looked like the 45. Where do they give him out? They give him 2. They gave him 2 yards to the 43. 3rd down and 6 for John Marshall. I'd imagine 4-down territory here for the Bears. Middleton in the shotgun. The Elks. Nope, it's going to be a WTC timeout. Or is it?
It's another official. Now they're sent off another Bear.
Jeremy Rideau is going to have to check out of the game. Ahmad Kirby will check in. He might not have had. Did he not have his knee pad pulled down below his knee?
He had some wristbands around his knee that they didn't like.
Snap back, Middleton over the middle, high, incomplete. Looking for Caldwell. Holder was right there, step for step with Terrence. Actually, that was Lawrence, excuse me, Derek Lawrence. Incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, officials' crews have been pretty heavy on the no excess flare, if you want to call it that, for the players.
But doesn't it make you faster and jump higher?
It depletes weight, yes.
Looks like they might be going here, guys.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. 4th down and 6 from the Elk City 43. Got to hurry here. Play clock down to 5. Middleton switches Drennan to his left hip. He doesn't see it, but the coaches do. Good job by Coach Burris. Chris Burris in his first year as the head man there at John Marshall, spotting the dwindling play clock down to 1, and he calls the first WTC timeout of the half for the John Marshall Bears. With 8:10 left on the second quarter clock, it's 19-0 Elk City over John Marshall here at Big Elk Stadium.
First timeout called by a team tonight. We've had the 2 official timeouts because of the equipment issues.
Here's a little bit of a shocker statewide.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Jinx 7, Bixby 7 into the first quarter.
Now that one's on ESPN2, am I right?
It is on ESPN2.
I had plans to watch that, but Mother Nature changed all that.
Thinking of Western Technology Centers, every timeout is a WTC timeout. They're educating people for success with campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City.
Yeah, we had some Elk City students go and sit on the visitor side, so 6 of them, not so empty.
That's awful.
There's
nice.
more room over there.
There's a lot more room. We're kind of packed in over here.
It's going
to be packed next week.
Yeah, as I say, we'll be back here. Not sure what time yet, but it'll be Friday night, first round of the playoffs. Opponent to be determined as well. 4th and 6, John Marshall at the Elk City 43. Middleton under center, or in the shotgun, excuse me, has a snap. Rolling to the left, looks down the field. Now he stops, trying to go back the other way. Lost the ball. It's on the field. Still loose. Blake Red's got it. And the Elks not only stop him on 4th down, but cause a fumble, and the recovery by Red back inside John Marshall territory at the 42. Nice job by the sophomore there, or the junior there, Blake Red, of staying with it. Or is he a sophomore? I can't.
He was trying to put his hand down to keep himself up. The hand that he was carrying the football with, it popped it out. Now, does the ground cause a fumble?
You know, that's the famous Clint Sterner play from Arkansas, Tennessee in 1998.
Yeah, put the ball
down on the ground,
Yep.
and it's if you're not down.
Yep.
I think we saw that in the Cotton Bowl one year with Adrian Peterson as well.
It does count as part of your body, correct?
No, it's.
I'm just messing.
Yeah.
Clint Sterner says it does.
I mean, you know what? I thought Adrian Peterson did too, but they didn't rule it that way. 1st and 10 Elks at the John Marshall 42, handoff to Wynn. Jaden up the middle for a couple to the 40-yard line. Nice strong tackle there in the middle of the field by Jeremy Rideau of John Marshall. Gain of 2 on 1st down for the Elks.
We had the trumpet guy from the Mets momentarily.
Little solo going on over here to our
what
left.
What is that noise? Is it Tommy Trumpet? What's his name?
Timmy Trumpet.
Timmy, thank you.
2nd and 8 Elks at the John Marshall 40. Trap play to Thompson. Matthews going to be slung down to the ground. Nice job there reading it. Aiden Clayton. And also, I think it's Elijah Kirby on the tackle. Loss of 1 back to the 41. 3rd and 9 Elk City.
Now Elk City going into the wind, passing situation, or do they? If they do, I wouldn't be surprised, like a little screenplay here.
3rd down and 9. Jet sweep to Bowie. Bowie cuts it up at the 40, makes a man. Oh, he tried to jump over him, and Middleton pull Bowie down at the 34-yard line.
Makes you think about it now, a little closer.
Gain of 7. Going to bring up 4th down and 2. Aiden Hopper's going to check into the lineup for the Elks.
Twice, 3rd down, 3rd and long. Cole Bowie's stepped up.
Extra offensive lineman out there. 4th and 2 Elks at the John Marshall 34. In motion left to right is Big Red. Sets up on the right edge. The Elks trying to get John Marshall to jump offside, and we've got a WTC timeout called by Coach Maynard. Looking for the freebie there on the freeze play. Give John Marshall credit for holding their water. Elk City takes their first Western Technology Center timeout of the first half. WTC is educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and also Elk City. We'll have some gas stats coming up here at halftime. Also some gas halftime analysis. The Williamson family at gas. All gas, no brakes. What do you got on the, what do you call here, boys? 4th and 2 at the John Marshall 34, as you said, Jared, into the wind here, north to south.
I put 26 in and use them as a decoy.
Let them crash in the middle?
Yeah. They're not going to do that, though.
Yeah, Levy may be done.
Levy's
I think he's done.
finished.
The good kind of done for our listeners.
Yeah. He's fine.
Well, depending on what kind of defensive alignment they give you here, that edge has been kind of soft over here to John Marshall's left and our right.
4th and 2, Elks at the 34. Snapback handoff. Jaden Wynn's got the first down, crossing the 30, banging toward the 25, giving the 26 8 yards and a Moxie Realty first down.
Yeah, the coaches have found something on John Marshall's left side of their defense, which would be our right side, that they have not run to our left a ton. And the size differential between the linemen up there is quite tremendous.
Yeah, I think they found that Aiden Long and Logan Trevino were over there on that right side just pounding people.
They outweigh that guy by 200.
1st and 10 Elks at the John Marshall 26. In motion is Thompson. Jet sweep running left. Matthews got the corner. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. It's a touchdown for the Big Elks. Matthew Thompson on senior nights. They got a couple of them. And it's 25-0 Elk City with 5:10 left to play here in the second quarter.
And as I say that, they run to the left.
A good call. I mean, man, he got speedy and just outran that bear chasing him down.
Yeah, it seems like the runs up the middle are kind of off to the right side of the line, but all the action outside has been left.
To the left.
Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. I think Brian's got it, and he does. Nobody jumped over the center that time, so Brian split the uprights. 26-0 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. The Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears with 5:10 left to play in the first half.
That was a great drive right there, huh? How long was that? When did we get the ball?
42 yards. 6 plays, 42 yards after the fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Big play was the 4th and 2, 8-yard run by Jaden Wynn, and then after that, house call from Matthew Thompson.
Yeah, milk some clock, too. We were taking the 40-second clock down. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, any worry that I had in this game, it's gone away. I was worried about, lack of focus, maybe being nicked up a little bit from last week. This is a perfect start for this half. Rack up the points, get the playmakers out of there, get some young guys experience in the second half.
21 carries, 153 on the ground for the Elks. That's over 7 every time they snap it. So 31 yards through the air. The math tells me that's 184 yards of total offense for the Elks. Garbarino to kick, high, directional, calling for the fair catch, and making it is Terrence Caldwell at about the 33-yard line of the John Marshall Bears. That's where they'll take over 1st and 10. Working right to left here in the second quarter. They're trailing Elk City 26-0 on that Ace Home Center scoreboard. Well, we got a little lull in the action. Hey, if you're looking for somewhere, if you can't attend a game and you're looking for somewhere to go find something to eat, maybe something to drink, and hang out and watch us on Big Elk TV or maybe even Paragon TV tomorrow night with Merritt and Hollis, Pedro's Mexican Grill is the place. The official watch party spot. Big Elk and Paragon TV is Pedro's. 1st and 10, John Marshall. Drennan up the middle, bounces it to the outside. 35, 40 is where he's ushered out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. Nice run there by Kylan Drennan. Looked like he was going to lose a yard. Instead, he picks up 7 on 1st down. Pedro's Mexican Grill, 902 South Main Street right here in Elk City.
And we're getting into that time of the year for small school basketball, too.
That's right. Tomorrow night, watch a little small school hoop. You'll be at Canute.
Eric.
You'll be at Eric with Canute.
But with Canute, yeah. Actually, in a way, cover both teams for Paragon.
2nd and 3, John Marshall at their own 40. Snap back, turn, hand off to Drennan. He powers forward. Reese Burton's got the tackle, but a 5-yard gain on 2nd and 3 and another 1st down for John Marshall. Terrence Caldwell back in there playing quarterback as Dorian Middleton split out as a receiver this possession. 4:45 to play on the first half clock. 26-0. Elk City leads John Marshall, but the Bears have a 1st and 10 at their own 45. Caldwell turns, hands off to Drennan, has a hold to the right. Nice tackle coming up by Cale Poole. We've called his name a couple of times from that safety spot, but not before. Drennan's got 6, and he crosses midfield down to the Elk City 49.
Something about being on the pregame show gives you a little extra spark.
John Marshall going quick. 2nd down and 4 for the Bears. The Elk City 49. Same play. Drennan looking to the right. This time the Elks stack him up, and he kind of reached forward through the pile for maybe a yard to the 48.
If that.
Oh, my gosh. They almost gave him a yard and a half.
Wow, I didn't think he even got that. Looked like he got stymied right at the line of scrimmage and just reaching to get what he could.
Colt Murray in there on this 3rd down and short for John Marshall on the Elk City defensive line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap back. Caldwell looking over the middle. The pass is complete. Looking for the pick was Caden Holder. Nice hands catch by Lawrence as he couldn't knock it away. Derek Lawrence down to the Elk City 35, a gain of 13 and a 1st and 10 for John Marshall. Man, they are going warp speed. A little bit of a Canadian impression here. 1st and 10 at the 35. Snap back. Looking left, pass out in the flat. It's going to be almost intercepted by Matthew Thompson as he stepped in front of Russell. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they were going quick. We almost missed that play, but we got it on the replay. Yeah, he set back and looked at that. Good instinct.
You got to watch stop and go here.
2nd and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 35. Caldwell has the snap in the shotgun, hands it off to Drennan, makes a move out to the outside to the 30, to the 25. Stiff arms a man at the 20 down the far sideline, tackled out of bounds near the 15. That's exactly where they mark him. 20-yard gain for Kylan Drennan and a first down for John Marshall at the Elk City 15. They have found something on the right side of the left side of the Elk City defense. Checking in is Jamison. Aiden's got to hurry to get off the field. And before the ball is snapped, the Elks call a WTC timeout with 3:32 to play on the first half clock. The Elks lead 26-0, but John Marshall's best drive by far as they started at their own 33, marched it down to the Elk City 15 where they have a 1st and 10 when we come out of the Western Technology Center timeout. Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at WTC is educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and also Elk City. World Series Game 5 tonight. Update from there. 1-1 through 2.
1-1.
Houston just wiggled out of a bases-loaded mess in the second.
Check on Newcastle Bethany. Haven't heard an update.
Bethany's up 10-7.
Jinx is up 14-7 on Bixby.
Holy cow, just got that text as well. That would be a shocker. What is that winning streak now? 58 or 9?
Yeah,
40. No, it's more than that, surely. 1st and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 15, working right to left on your radio dial. Caldwell has been there the whole possession here at quarterback. And before the snap, we've got a what?
There's a flag on the play. False start, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I thought he snapped it right on the whistle, but it must have been before. Cash up on Chickasha 7-0.
Winner there goes to the playoffs. Loser is done. Was a false start on John Marshall's 1st and 15 for the Bears back at the Elk City 20. Caldwell in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking for some room to run to the left. He's got a bunch of it. Cuts it inside, back outside at the 10, hammered down near the 5. But you saw there, John Marshall had a bunch of success as Cooper Patton limps off the field for the Elks, holding his right hip area. You saw that, though, that success of Drennan running right. Nice job by Caldwell pulling it and going left, and the Elks were nowhere to be found. A gain of 16, 1st and goal from the 4 for John Marshall.
I don't know who he got a tackle to. He ran into his own guy.
His own guy hit him with 2 hands.
1st and goal from the 4. Caldwell in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap. Handoff up the middle. Drennan's going to be tackled near the line of scrimmage. The officials don't blow the whistle. Now they do, as the pile was kind of stalemated there. Looks like no gain. 2nd and down and goal from the 4.
2nd down and goal to go.
You got 55 and 56 back in there on the line.
Yeah, I thought I noticed Trace and Gage back in there. They were both right there on the tackle. So 2nd and goal from the 4 for John Marshall. Big split between the center and the right guard here. In motion is Middleton. Snap, handoff to Dorian, looking for some room to run on the right. He's going to dive into the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown for the John Marshall Bears as Middleton took the jet sweep left to right. Dives in the end zone from 4 yards out, and the Bears are on the board, trailing 26-6 with 2:22 to play on the first half clock. As Daniel mentioned earlier, John Marshall will elect to go for 2 each and every time that they get into the end zone. Caldwell will be the quarterback in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes it, looking for some room to roam on the left. He dives down toward the goal line, stops short. Robertson, Eastman, and Decker getting up off the pile. So 2-point conversion is no good, but John Marshall back within 20. 26-6, the Elk City Elks lead on the Ace Home Center scoreboard with 2:22 to play here in the second quarter.
A little surprised they went left. They had so much success going right.
Yeah, I think they're kind of the same thing, trying to fool the Elks.
Yeah.
Getting everybody to go one way and keep it back the other way.
Well, ideally, you'd like to keep them out of the end zone. Still, Elk City leading at 26-6. And look on the other side for our listeners on Cool 94. John Marshall not only didn't bring a lot of fans, there's not a lot on the sideline for them. That tells me that you can really wear them out because there's guys that are going, I don't think they've come off the field since the kickoff.
8 guys. Is that what I see?
I counted 9 helmets. They got a couple guys, wearing the jersey, but.
Oh, yeah, there's a little guy behind there. Yeah, 9 of them. Man.
I mean, it's been a rough go at it for John Marshall, and we've all been there.
That means there's only 20 of them, period, that can play. So once again, they'll put the football on its side to kick. There's not even a tee out there. The Elks have their hands team ready to go. 2:22 to play in the first half, 26-6. The Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears. Low kick. It's going to be taken by Reese Burton at the 46-yard line. He just gets right down.
Good catch by Burton right there, man. That was a bullet.
It looks easy, but it's not.
That is not easy.
Yeah, Caldwell drilled that thing right at his chest, and Reese said, you know what? He actually kind of caught it with his hands,
he
too.
Did, too. It was good. Nice catch.
Good to see Reese back out there after a collarbone injury earlier in the season. Is this his second? I think first action was back at Weatherford or Woodward?
He played a little bit last week.
Okay. So 2:21 to play in the first half. The Elks will start 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line, leading 26-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. Jones sends Simmons in motion, hands it to Devin. He's got a hole. Look out. 50, 45 to the 40, to the 35. Tries to juke inside of Middleton. Dorian grabs him and throws him out of bounds at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 27. And a Moxie Realty first down. Simmons a little bit gingerly walking on that right leg.
I couldn't tell if it was a calf or it was muscular for sure.
He's kind of giving the nod to everybody like, I'm all right. Just let me walk for just a second. I'll be fine. Hopper checks in late into the Big Elk huddle. There's 3 seconds on the play clock, and we're going to have the final WTC timeout of the first half taken by Elk City at the 2:14 mark of the first half. Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at Western Technology Centers. They're educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is Big Elk Football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City. Cool 94.
26-6, the Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears with 2:14 to play in the first half. When we come out of the timeout, Elk City will have it 1st and 10 at the John Marshall 27. The full complement of 3 timeouts here in the first half have been expended by the Elk City coaching staff. But, guys, outside of that last drive defensively, this offense and the offensive line has just been grinding the John Marshall Bears to death here in the first half.
Yeah, I expect that to continue, too, for reasons we've already given about their lack of depth over there. I mean, that one sustained drive from John Marshall might be all we see tonight. They probably are getting ready to – can't wait to get to the locker room at half.
Right to left motion is Thompson. He comes back this way, cuts it up through the 20. He's going to be tackled. It was a nice open field play by Middleton, cleaned up by Rideau. Down to the 19-yard line for Matthew, 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and short for Elk City. Inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone, Scott Brown, April, and David Pena. If you need it, they do it. Gas and diesel repair, RVs, motorhomes, boats, recreational vehicles, brakes. They're at Big Elk Auto Mall. The Elks break the huddle with 12 on the play clock, 1:40 to play in the first half, 2nd and 2. Jones hands it off to Wynn. Jaden's got the first down, skips out of a tackle at the 15, dives down to the 13-yard line, 6-yard gain, and another Moxie Realty first down for Jaden Wynn.
Update from Newcastle. Bethany leads at 10-7 at the half. Newcastle turned the ball over more than once.
Here it's 26-6, Elk City over John Marshall with 1:20 to play in the first half. Clock runs. The Elks have a 1st and 10 at the John Marshall 14. Working left to right on your radio dial. Alex Cupp checks into the game for the Elks. In motion comes Bowie. Cole cuts it up on the inside. Now bounces out at the 10. And he's going to have the ball knocked loose. Regains it. Dives down to the 5. Gain of 9. 2nd and 1. The Elks need to hurry as the clock dips under a minute. I think that was Russell that knocked it out of Bowie's hands.
I think Bowie was more concerned about laying the hit than he had the ball come out of him. Unfortunately, just kind of bounced one time right up to him.
2nd down and a yard. 40 seconds to play with the running clock here. 2nd and 1 Elks. Handoff up the middle. Wynn's got a 1st down. Piles over a man. Dives toward the end zone. He's in there. Jaden Wynn's 2nd touchdown of the night for 5 yards out. And the Elks lead 32-6 with the extra point pending.
Another one of those effort runs from your big guy. That time Wynn got it in there, running over the bear. Good blocking up front. That's a good push. Again, we're seeing the wear down. We're seeing him get wore out.
Jaden's a tough kid, man. I mean, he absorbs the first contact and then surges.
Gonzalez in to attempt the extra point. Nice snap, good hold. The kick is up. Brian got another one. 33-6, the Elks lead with 35 seconds to play here on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. Yeah, Jaden, a little bit different than his dad, accepting the contact and continuing to push forward. I don't know if I ever saw Hare do much of that. See if Jason's on a rig or if he's in the stands here pretty quick. How do you see him? All right. It's senior night here at Big Elk Stadium. The Elks doing exactly what you hoped they would do coming into the game if you were rooting for the brown and white. Let's get out to a huge lead in the first half. And hey, here's the deal for John Marshall. It's going to be the same situation as it was last week, but out of necessity. They don't have 2s and 3s that they could put into the game, unlike what Woodward could have done last week. This is what's going to happen. These guys are going to be out there on the field the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel, I don't mean this to be mean or rude, but I feel sorry for them, for those kids that there's no option for them. They have to stay in. You just hope they come out healthy and move on.
Garbarino to kick. 35 seconds left in the first half. John Marshall is moving downwind. They do have 2 timeouts, so this half isn't over just yet. Cooper high, short, hanging kick. Drennan takes it at the 35, hit immediately.
Oh. That is ever so dangerous.
You know, a pretty good heads-up play there by Colton Seahigh.
Yeah, I mean, Drennan was running full speed when he caught that.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, Drennan's headed the other way pretty quickly. Good job by Seahigh. There's no doubt he was going to mess that one up. Moyer checks out. Elijah's in there for the Elks. Elijah Gillens. 1st and 10, John Marshall at their own 38. Snap back. Caldwell looks down the far sideline, throws a long pass. Caden Holder is there, as is Cooper Patton. Cooper's got the interception, breaks the tackle. 30 to the 35. Sets outside at the 40, breaks the tackle. Here he comes near sideline, looking for a block, cuts it back the other way. 40 to the 45 to the midfield stripe, and he's knocked down at the John Marshall 48. As he started on the far side of the field, made his way clear to this sideline, back in the middle of the field.
We might not have enough tape for the replay on this one.
Love the passion, but as a coach,
take
a knee.
He wanted to somehow weave his way in there.
He wanted it. And then you cut back inside to go back to where everybody was.
Well, sometimes you get success. Cut back into the teeth of defense.
Good job by the Elks not committing one of those blindside blocks also.
Yeah, that too.
Looks like the victory formation here on the last play of the first half with 13 seconds left. Jones takes the snap, hits the right knee, and that's going to do it for the first half. A very fruitful first half for the Elk City Elks here on senior night at Big Elk Stadium. They lead the John Marshall Bears 33-6 at halftime. Come back for gas analysis and stats. We'll take a look around the state of Oklahoma to try to find out what's going on in the playoff race and more. 33-6 here at halftime. The Elks lead on the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Since 2005, Pedro's Mexican Grill in Elk City has made their famous homemade tortillas fresh every day. In addition to great menu choices like street tacos, birria tacos, fajitas, quesadillas, and steaks cooked to perfection, and also delicious desserts like their encanaladas. Enjoy Mexican flag enchiladas every Monday, and all-you-can-eat catfish every Tuesday. Plus, Pedro's is the official sports watch spot to catch all the Big Elk TV and Paragon TV action. They'll also deliver. Call 580-225-3644. Find them on Facebook. Pedro's Mexican Grill, 902 South Main Street in Elk City.
This is 100% fresh beef with 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins, and won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Western Technology Center has 25 full-time training programs represented in 4 campuses across western Oklahoma. Check out westtech.edu for more information. WTC is committed to educating people for success.
As your ag financial partner, agriculture is a big part of what we do. And with today's economy, it takes big planning and the right equipment. That's where we come in. Whether you're expanding, have equipment needs, or just need day-to-day operational capital, we're here for you to keep your operation growing.
They're your neighbors and your friends, and they're right here with you. First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre. Member FDIC.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
Main Street Coffee and Cafe in downtown Elk City is a great place to drink coffee with friends and family. With their awesome specialty coffees and drinks like frappes, cappuccinos, chai teas, and more, both hot and cold. Try their delicious soup and sandwiches and incredible edible cheesecakes and desserts. Plus, they have specialty gifts and a wide selection of coffee flavorings. With the area's most interesting decor and meeting rooms, Main Street Coffee is the best place to be. You'll find the most personal service every day at Main Street Coffee and Cafe right on the corner of Main and Broadway, downtown Elk City, and find them on Facebook.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Owners George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you, or shop online at elksupply.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no breaks to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
Welcome back. Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Elk City football. We're at halftime, and the Big Elks are rolling 33-6 over the John Marshall Bears. It's time for the gas analysis and stats. The Williamson family of gas. All gas, no brakes. Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter Daniel Garbarino. Daniel, your thoughts on the way that the Elks performed here in the first half?
I don't think it could have gone much better for what we wanted to do. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to get up early. We know this game, quote unquote, has no meaning on the season, on our playoffs, anything like that, district standing. So you want to get up early and then have a chance to play some of your younger guys like we did last week. However, you're facing a little bit of a different team here this week with some more speed, a couple more weapons. But I think it went exactly the way we wanted to. Defense, when our first defense was in, they didn't come up with any points. We were pretty strong there, and then our offense just did what we did.
Yeah, one thing we talked about in the pregame, it was focus and coming out here and doing the job. And you're right, offensively, that offensive line just mauled guys up and down the field to the tune of over 200 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, and they've got a little bit of a size advantage on their defensive line if you look at it just from the eye test. But our pad level, like I said in pregame, our pad level's low. We're getting leverage. They're stunting inside. We're hitting some gaps there, and they're paving the way for a pretty dang good offensive ground game right now.
And it's good to see some other guys touch it. It just makes you more deadly. Matthew Thompson's had a couple of nice runs on the outside. We saw Bowie with a couple, and of course Jaden Wynn. We're accustomed to him kind of coming in a little bit to spell Levy, but you kind of see exactly what he's got. Now, not only toughness, but a little bit of agility with a couple of those spin moves.
Yeah, and that makes you very excited about what's down the road, right, after this year with those young guys stepping up. Jaden, man, I mean, you talk about a little bit of ballet feet right there, like twinkle toes. Like he was up on his toes, spinning around, getting around those guys and getting some yards. So, yeah, great to see that. I would expect to see a lot more of that in the second half.
Defensively here in the second half, you talked about it with the athletes that John Marshall has, not only with Middleton at quarterback or even at a receiver. Those young guys that we're going to see in the second half defensively for the Brown and White have got to be ready to go and have the chin strapped from the opening kickoff as John Marshall will receive the kick to start the third quarter.
Yeah, for sure. The only place we suffer with depth problems on the defense is in the defensive backfield. So I don't know if you noticed, our starting defensive backfield was still out there at the end of the first half. You kind of have to play that. We don't have a whole lot of depth there. On the front side, on our front seven, you'll see a lot of subs there. But like you said, they have to play smart football. They have to get in front of the runner. They have to string out along to go to the sideline, and they just have to make sure that we're making tackles, even if it's down the field, just to not let them score.
That is the gas analysis of the first half from our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, Daniel Garbarino. You ready to go with the gas stats? All right, Jared Atha's got the gas first half stats.
All right, let's check it out here. We'll start with rushing. Elk City's rushed it 26 times for 207 yards. That's about 8 yards a carry. Passing it, just completed 1 out of 3 attempts for 31 yards. That totals that of 244 total yards. It's about 8.5 per snap. And have kept it clean, and I have not turned the ball over this half. Rushing for John Marshall, 17 times for 82 yards. That's about 4.8 yards a carry. They've completed 2 passes out of 10 times for 21 yards and did throw that interception there at the end of the first half. Total offense, 103 yards, 3.8 yards per play. And not only that interception, also fumbled it there in the first half for 2 turnovers. Individually for Elk City, Austin Jones, of course, taking the snaps, completing that pass for 31 yards. Who did he get it to? It would be to Cole Bowie. It was an electric one, too. It had converted a third down and led to Elk City's first touchdown in the first quarter. And that's his only reception for tonight, obviously. Rushing, let's go with, you're going to have to remind me of Jaden Wynn's total. I think it was 55 yards. 55 yards on 9 carries. He has 2 touchdowns. Levy Owens, his night was short. 4 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. It punched it in for the first time for the Big Elks tonight. Matthew Thompson has a touchdown, 4 carries for 46 yards. And Cooper Patton has a carry for 28 yards and a touchdown. Others getting carries tonight, Devin Simmons, a carry for 21 yards. Cole Bowie, 2 carries for 11 yards. And Austin Jones, a quarterback, 3 carries for 11 yards. And Cooper Garbarino had 3 carries for 14 yards. So we'll just stay on that side of the ledger. And once again, Big Elks, they are up 33-6. Big thank you to Gas for a look at those stats. Aaron?
Yeah, the Williamson family at Gas, the analysis and the stats. Gas is all gas, no brakes. Speaking of all gas, no brakes, it's that time. Everybody's favorite time of every game. It's time to text us in on the text line 580-225-5252. 9698. 580-225-9698. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're hanging out at on that text line. When we come back, we'll tell you, we'll mention those things, those names that text us in. Also, get you up to date on some other games of interest in Class 4A and throughout the state of Oklahoma. 33-6, the Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears here at halftime. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Big Elk Auto Mall in Elk City is your one-stop automotive shop. In one location, you'll find professional automotive services like gas and diesel mechanics, expert exhaust installation, and certified auto body technicians who do it all from detailing to frame-off restorations. Owned by local guys with local ties, and they're fully insured. They're located in the old Summer J building across from the Elk City Convention Center. And at Big Elk Auto Mall, a percentage of every sale goes directly to the Elk City High School Athletics Program. If you need it, they do it. All insurances are accepted. Go Big Elks. Say habla español.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic. Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy. He is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com. Buying and selling a home is a huge deal. Buyers are excited to get into a house they really want. Sellers are happy they can move on to the next phase in their life. But behind the scenes, someone's got to handle all that paperwork. And if things don't go right, the deal falls through. That's why buyers, sellers, and realtors all like working with Billy and Jennifer Smith. They're professional, they're thorough, and they're good. Smith Title and Closing, Broadway and Randall in Elk City. Outstanding opening, exceptional closing.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
Welcome back. Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football. It's still at halftime. The senior night for the band is happening down on the track. There's a bunch of them. What did they just say? 41 straight years of all ones in the regional marching contests. Dynasty, it is.
To say the least, dynasty, yeah.
I talked to Mr. DeWitt about that, and he talks about the pressure that everybody feels to not be the ones to break that ridiculous streak for the Big Elk band. All right, 580-225-9698. 580-225-9698. Tell us where you're watching from on that text line. We've got Hunter, our man Hunter Hayes, hanging out down in Dallas, a pastor and church members at a conference. I got it on the iPad. Go Big Elks. So Hunter Hayes down in Dallas. Also, let's see. I had one earlier. The Ross Clan over on Otis Street here in Elk City. Everybody's watching at home. Thankfully, Big Mike got to go home this week, so glad that everybody's there. Cheeseburger soup, it was delicious. Q was watching. Q wanted Daniel to know his new bright white shoes sure look good on TV.
Thanks, Q. Appreciate it, bro.
All right, what do you got over there, Jared?
Well, I wish I'd caught this earlier. I didn't turn on the text line until about half, but we had a question about a rule. And could you address quickly the out-of-bounds kickoff rule? I thought the receiving team simply got the ball in the 40 after a kickoff goes out of bounds.
They chose, John Marshall chose, instead of accepting the ball at the 35, they accepted the penalty to make the Elks march back 5 yards and re-kick because of Dorian Middleton and the danger of him returning.
They want that chance to return it, yeah.
That's right, yeah. You had that choice.
Yeah. Daryl Price is watching from Odessa, Texas. We got Terry Jones watching from Wagner. Go Big Elks, and hi, Sammy. And, man, these come in fast and furious. Let's see here. Had a comment here. Said, that reminded me of Drake Hughes against Weatherford last year, run 80 yards for a 25-yard gain. That interception they're talking about Patton's interception right there. Let's see. Monty Jr. and Monty Sr. listening from home. Go Big Elks. I'm trying to keep up. They're coming in fast and furious. Great first half for the Big Elks. Ms. Lid from New Orleans. Cheering hard for Cooper Garbarino. Bruce and Jennifer Holly watching Austin Jones from Red River, New Mexico. Shout out to Elk City's number 11. We have been impressed with his effort the last few games.
You weren't here last week. You had asked that question if they lived in Red River, New Mexico. The answer was yes, they do live there.
I am jealous. Watching from the bathtub. Okay, almost got
Terry
me that
Jordan.
time.
I know who that is.
Oh, TJ there. Thanks for watching, Terry. Jeremy and Megan watching from Anadarko. We got, don't know what that is. Big Elk. Go Big Elks from Farmington, New Mexico. Go Garbarino. Way to go, Big Elks from the, I'm going to say this wrong, is it the Basgall family? Rooting from the living room. Basgall. Apologize if I got that wrong. Thanks for watching. So proud of the Big Elks and the marching band. Go Big Elks from Charlie Breeden in Norfolk, Virginia. Floyd and Judy Burns from Burns Flat. Wait, I did that wrong. Floyd and Judy from Burns Flat.
I was going to say, that'd be kind of weird.
go number one, Caden Holder. Daniel Garbarino's father says, go Big Elks from the Big Easy. Great sideline reporter. We told him earlier he's going to get drafted by us, taken away from us. Go Big Elks watching from Pleasant Valley in Washita County. The Harrisons and the Greens. There you go. And now I got to flip to the next page because that's how many of these do we get.
I got one. Lead on Wiseman watching from Orla, Texas tonight.
Lance and Lisa Meyer from Edmond. Go Jaden Wynn. Watching Little Bro from good old Fort Smith, Arkansas. That's Little Bro's number 59. Go Big Elks. Hosting playoffs is huge for the Big Elks. That's right. Jeff and Chris Waters watching from home tonight. Come on, Jeff. Get out here. Get in the wind. Carrie and Brian Robertson watching from Comanche, Texas. We have watching Big Elks from North Dakota. Shout out to number 33. The crew is watching. I think they're up there working. Watching at home across town while watching the World Series also. From Jessica Patterson. Go Phillies. I think I might have added that part. Mr. Warburton from Chinook, Montana. Joe Storm in San Antonio.
Joe. What's up, Joe?
Way to go, Big Elks. They said I got it right. The Basgall family.
Oh, there you go.
I got it right. But listen, I know how frustrating it is to have your last name.
You think? Try mine out.
We got Cooper Patton's uncle watching from Bangkok. Well,
really?
Elks, pray for me. I'm deployed. Well, thank you for your service, sir. Carrie and Brian Robertson. We got that one in. My bad. But thanks again. This is David Pena watching from Shreveport, Louisiana, and I think I got them all covered.
I got Coach Christian, Coach Dustin in the house. Shout out to y'all, goats of the radio. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for participating. It's always it's kind of warms your heart to know that people are actually out there watching and listening to everything we're doing. Also, if I don't get this one in, I might be disowned from the family because I got an early shout-out from the Garage Gang at Lana's house tonight. So I got that one in there, the Garage Gang watching, as they always do. Sometimes it's at the country club. Sometimes it's at somebody's house. Tonight it's at Lana's house. It's the Garage Gang hanging out watching.
And you know what? Big thank you to McDonald's and the Phillips family.
Absolutely.
Bringing us some food at halftime like they usually do.
All right. It's Green. We don't want to hear from Green. We're going to wait for Coach Maynard. He's making his way back out on the field, and we'll get a little quick word with head coach Zach Maynard here, get his thoughts on the first half. 33-6, the Elks lead at halftime. Daniel, when you're ready, go ahead down there on the Pioneer Cellular sideline.
Coach, good first half. How do you feel about it? See some good stuff out there?
Yeah. Put some new guys in, maybe a little early, but that is what it is. We're not a program trying to rub people's noses in it. So did what we're supposed to do, and see a lot of new faces in the second half.
Okay, good luck, Coach. What Coach Green did tell me just a little while ago, Chickasha will have a 2,000-yard rusher and not make the playoffs, more than likely.
Wow.
That's unfortunate. Sounds like that young man got hurt.
Yeah, we'll have.
Did he get hurt?
That's what they're
kind of what we had heard.
Getting relayed to me.
We'll give you some scores here from around the area. One that you're catching some flack over here on my text line, Jared. Bobby Martin said, "Miss mine." Well, there you go, Bob.
Oh, my bad.
Bob's watching.
Well, if you could see how many come in, I'm bound to miss one. My apologies.
But here. We take it away, and now we'll give it. Our man Tyler Harrison said, glad Jared's back. He's a well-oiled machine.
Oh, well, that's very nice,
So
Tyler.
there you go. All right, let's look at some scores. We're still about 3 minutes away from the second half starting. In Class 4A, the games of note tonight, it was a big one in 4A1 between Chickasha and Cash, of course, as soon as I need to know the scores, the circle of death. Last I saw, it was 22-0. Cash led Chickasha. I think that was a halftime score. No, still in the second quarter. So 22-7 at half. So 22-7, Cash over Chickasha at halftime. Another halftime score, and this is will determine the opponent next week for the Elks in the first round of the playoffs.
Right.
Bethany leads Newcastle 10-7 at halftime. The loser of that game is coming out here because Blanchard's hammering Tecumseh 28-6. Tuttle was beaten up on Classen 41-0 at half. So that Bethany-Newcastle game, the loser of that game's coming west to face the Big Elks right here at Big Elk Stadium next week. Let's see, 17-14, Jinx at halftime over Bixby.
That is going to be a major upset.
And then, last I saw, the Astros held a 2-1 lead.
Yeah.
Jeremy Pena hit a home run to break that 1-1 tie. So 2-1 Astros.
I heard Coach Maynard say, let's stop them, get the ball, go score, and get after it.
There you go. Here it's 33-6. The Elks lead at halftime on that Ace Home Center scoreboard. Just about ready to go for the third quarter kickoff. It looks like the Elks will be kicking left to right on your radio dial, which is north to south, which is into the breeze. Still pretty stiff down there, it looks like from here. Those flags are still pretty whipping.
I think it might be an eventful night tonight weather-wise.
Oh, yeah?
I kind of have that feeling, too.
I mean, this morning when you walked outside, it felt like a May morning. It looked maybe a little cooler, but it felt that way.
Well, but it kind of had that soupy feeling.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely more humid than normal here.
And every time I look up, it just coming off of the lights, I can't tell if there's like a mist or if it's just kind of
it's hazy.
Hazy, yeah.
It's like we're in Weatherford again, but it's not smoke.
No.
Oh, we forgot to give a shout out to the guys at the Man Cave. Don't want to miss them either because that's where the big boss man is at.
That's true.
So shout out to those guys at the Man Cave. Here we go. Garbarino, high, lazy kick, lands at the 35. Nice job there on the coverage. Drennan caught it. Ocho cut his legs out from underneath him, or was it Seahigh again?
That was Seahigh.
Colton Seahigh. Back-to-back tackles on kickoff return. The Elks have done a good job in that regard. something that we were a little bit worried about with the athleticism of John Marshall, but the Elks have done fantastic there. 1st and 10, John Marshall, first play of the third quarter coming at their own 34. Looks like they're going to stick with Caldwell at the quarterback spot. He engineered the only scoring drive for the Bears there in the second quarter. You got Burton and Robertson in there at the middle linebacking spot. Snap back, Caldwell looking down the near sideline, intended for Middleton. Double coverage, he goes up, can't make the catch. Coming over from the safety spot was Garbarino. Thompson in pretty good coverage. Middleton almost skied up over both of them to make the catch, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
This actually wasn't a bad pass, and a good effort right there in double coverage. Just went right through his hands.
This is a good throw. They're trying to figure out every way possible to get one the ball.
I don't think I can blame them. 2nd and 10, John Marshall at their own 34. Just underway third quarter, the Elks lead 33-6. Snap back, handoff. Drennan is going to be grabbed and slung to the ground right at the line of scrimmage. They give him one as Gage Eastman makes the tackle. Third down and 9 for the John Marshall Bears. Opening possession third quarter. They're going with the win right to left, which is south to north here at Big Elk Stadium. Caldwell in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks right. Throws it over the middle. The ball is going to be incomplete. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Lawrence cut inside and threw it back shoulder. Caden Holder was right there. It'd be 4th and long. It looks like John Marshall will punt. I bet you Caldwell's happy to be punting to the north instead of the south.
I say, they didn't have to think about that long. They quickly ran their punt team out there, all 2 of them, I think.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you feel sorry for those guys.
I do.
With the lack of depth on their sideline. Caldwell stands at his 25, has the snap, toe to leather. It's a good punt. Driving Cole Bowie back to the 22. Cole's got the catch. Looking near side down the sideline at the 30. Slips inside at the 35. Now trying to cross the field. He's got some room. 40. Makes a cut outside. Middleton slings him to the ground at the 47-yard line. 25-yard return for Bowie. And the Elks have it 1st and 10 at their own 47 with 11:01 to play in the third quarter, leading 33-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. Let's thank Billy and Jennifer Smith at Smith Title and Closing. Outstanding opening, exceptional closing. Also, First National Bank and Trust, the CEO is Sandy Warner, the president David Atkinson. First National Bank is a bank you can know and trust. And then also our friends at Anadarko Dozer, that's Jay and Angie Wyatt. Anadarko Dozer is committed to excellence. Speaking of Jay and Angie, both Riley Wyatt, Abby Robbins named All-State Fast Pitch softballers this week. Riley was actually the hometown Heisman winner as well. Logan Webb in running the option, finds Alonzo Gino. And Alonzo did a good job just to make the catch and go down after a loss of 2.
Alonzo Gino on the carry.
Hometown Heisman, you want to explain what that is? What is that?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100%
I'll
sure.
have to look into that.
I just saw it on
interesting.
Facebook.
That's
So
cool.
it's a deal where you go hometown, then you go state, and then you go region, and then national, I believe. And
Okay.
it's
I'd seen, you know,
I think it's a
Heisman-
$10,000 scholarship
Yeah.
or something like
Is
that.
it Wendy? Is it Wendy's hometown Heisman? I probably shouldn't say that on the air, but I was thinking maybe they might be the sponsor of that.
I didn't see a sponsor. I looked it up.
Okay.
I didn't-
I think I've seen at the Heisman ceremony they'll show a couple of kids.
Yeah, I think that's right
teenagers.
too.
Yeah.
That's the Gatorade Heisman.
Yeah, that may be.
I think you're right.
Fumble.
Logan Webb fumbles it, picks it up as they were trying to run the trap play back this way to Alonzo. There's nobody out here for John Marshall, but the ball was knocked loose. Logan Webb back on it. Loss of 3 back to the 42, and it's 3rd down and long.
Brings it 3rd down and 15.
Big guys up front are going to get a huge challenge on the Elk City offensive line because of what we've been mentioning. The ones in there for John Marshall, and there's some big old cats out there on that D-line. Full house backfield, 3rd down and long. Option play, ball in and out of the hands of Alex Cupp. Alex dives on it back near the 32. So a 10-yard loss. The Elks go back 15, and the punting unit will come on.
See what 22 can do into the wind here.
Garbarino standing at his own 20. Drennan, Kylan Drennan at the John Marshall 35. That'd be a pretty good boot into this breeze. A good snap. Garbarino low end over end kick, bounces right to Drennan. Nice job by him fielding on the hop, trying to run outside, breaks the tackle with the 40. The Elks swarm him under from there as Bowie makes the final sling down at about the 41-yard line. As Drennan did a pretty good job fielding that bad hop like a shortstop there. That could have gone all kinds of different ways. Instead, a nice punt though, Daniel, into the wind by Cooper Garbarino.
A low driving punt.
It's about your only choice.
Yeah, it's the only option you have.
Win.
You don't want to get it up there in that wind. It'll push it back on you.
You know, like Tiger's driving iron there.
Yeah, a little stinger.
Yep.
So John Marshall gains 7 yards in the exchange of possessions. 1st and 10 at their own 41. Handoff to Drennan, picking out the hole on the right. He bounces it at the outside at the 45 down to about the 49-yard line. Gain of 8 for Kylan Drennan on 1st down. John Marshall going with the tempo as we saw at the end of the first half. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Snap back. It's going to be the fake this time. Quarterback, it looked like his knee might have hit the ground as he was cutting back inside of Reese Burton. Reese bounces back, makes the tackle on Caldwell, but not before he gains 4 and a 1st down.
That hurt my knee watching him cut like that.
It looked like it might have scraped the ground.
It was close.
Yeah.
I think he kept it above it. Watching on the State Farm replay.
Daniel Garbarino, not only the Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, but he is the State Farm agent here in town. The replays are State Farm replays. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 1st and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 47. Caldwell into the flat. He's got Middleton open, crossing the 35 to the 30, inside, now back outside. Excuse me, that was the 40 down to the 30. Good tackle out in the open field by Alex Cupp, but not before a 17-yard pitch and catch from Caldwell to Middleton.
That's enough for Bears' 1st down.
I mean, with the personnel we're running with right now, just keep them in bounds, let the clock run.
7:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Elks lead 33-6. John Marshall has it 1st and 10 to the Elk City 29. Handoff to Drennan, picks it through a hole. Now a good job there. Alonzo Gino cutting his legs out from under him as he crosses the 30 down to about the 27. Give him a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, just keep them from getting the outside. Make them come up in the middle. Big Oaks have been there all night.
Call it 2nd and 8. Snap back Caldwell. He's going to be pressured, hit as he throws over the middle, and Logan Webb ran into Middleton. The ball was way overthrown. Probably fortunate we didn't see a hanky come flying from the back judge there.
Held my breath, but I think it was
uncatchable.
Uncatchable, yes.
Yeah, I think if the ball's anywhere close, the flag comes. But instead, incomplete. Bring up a 3rd down and 8 for John Marshall at the Elk City 27.
You think the wind had anything to do with that?
Well, it looks like it just carries it, doesn't it? Caldwell, snap back, handoff, Drennan up the middle. He's going to be met at the 25, pushes forward near the 1st down marker. He got to the 20. That's short.
And I believe his helmet came off.
Yep, Drennan's holding his helmet, so he's going to have to check out. Replaced by Cameron Marshall, the freshman, on a 4th down and 1 from the Elk City 20-yard line. Fourth and 1, John Marshall at the Elk City 20. Clock at 6:45 and running here in the 3rd quarter. The Elks lead 33-6 over the Bears. Shotgun. Caldwell has the snap. Did the Elks go offside, or was there not a snap infraction?
There is an upset coach wearing a blue shirt. It makes me think it's them.
I think the center forgot the snap count. Everybody else moved. So a false start against John Marshall makes it 4th and 6. Back at the Elk City 25-yard line. Elijah Gillens was flying off that edge. I was curious to see if it was him in the neutral zone. It was not. So 4th and 6, John Marshall at the Elk City 25-yard line. Caldwell looks to the sideline, gets the play in. Now the Elks scrambling to get the guys on the right side of the formation. They do. Shotgun snap. Caldwell's got it. Looking out to the left. Throws it into the flat for Middleton. Middleton's got the catch. The Elks rally and make the tackle as Alex Cup held on for dear life to trip him up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. And the Elk City defense holds on 4th down. And they'll take over 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
And you talk about holding on for dear life. He did. If he had slipped out of there, he's probably going to score his way up to a 1st down. He is that electric. Excuse me. That is a good play right there with the Big Oak defense. Bend, don't break. And again, the best case scenario, a little time milked off the clock.
Aiden Muse, Drayton Parks in there on the Elk City offensive line. We'll get you some more. Jet sweep to Alonzo Gino, and he is just brutalized out of bounds. Middleton laid the lumber.
I'm not going to replay that one.
On the 20, it's a gain of 5 out to the 30. My goodness.
Was a gain. That's good.
Dorian Middleton laid the shoulder right into the chops of Alonso, but he's up. Let's get some other of the offensive linemen in there. Fabian Armendariz is playing right tackle. Drayton Parks is the right guard. Ryan Fulbright the center. 2nd down and 5 for the Elks at their own 30. Logan Webb turns, hands it off. I think that's Reyes up the middle, pushing the pile near the 1st down marker at the 35. I believe he got it.
He got it. They're giving it to him. Man, he's tough to bring down. His thighs are big, too. He's got to be a strong kid.
He's kind of mini Levy with his body shape. Evan Putman, freshman, checking into the lineup at the receiver spot. One more offensive lineman. Can you tell what the right guard's number is? Is it 68 or 60? I think it's our man Cotton Sean, 68. 1st and 10 Elks at the 35, hand up the middle. It's Reyes pushing the pile, crossing the 40 to about the 41-yard line. It's a gain of 6 for the Elks on 1st down.
Getting a good push there. It's good.
Yeah, those guys.
Do you have a stat on how tall 28 for them is? He's got to be 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, I don't. He's a freshman, I can tell you that. Jet sweep to Alex Cup. Alex is rode down hard by Rideau after a gain of a couple of yards to the 42. 3rd and short for the Elks. Easton Sloan bringing the play in from the sideline for the Elks. 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's 33-6 Elks. They got it 3rd and 3 at their own 42. Alonzo in motion trying to draw the Bears offside. Doesn't happen. Logan Webb under center. Sends Cup in motion. Turns. Nobody's there to hand it off to, and he's going to be swarmed under. Ahmad Kirby knocks him off his feet after a loss of about 4. Bring up 4th down. I think the Elks probably done. Well, they're going to run the punt unit back on there.
All those guys had their helmets off,
Yeah,
in the water, hanging out, and they're like, hey, whoa, hold on a second, guys. Here
I'll
we
be
go.
pretty impressed if they get 11 out there. Looks like they might have.
We got it.
Garbarino, 25-yard line, punt, low liner, bounces at the 40, takes an Elk City bounce, picked up on the run by Drennan, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds by Robertson right around the 40. So the Elks gain a yard this time in the swap on the 2 possessions. So 1st down and 10 for John Marshall at their own 40 with 3:49 left on the 3rd quarter clock. The Elks' halftime lead is still what it was at halftime. They still lead 33-6.
10-10 game, Bethany Newcastle.
1st and 10, John Marshall faking the handoff as Caldwell sprints through a hole at the 40. Carrying tacklers near the half midfield stripe. Got to be about 8 yards on the carry.
The Elks City High School Commanders, ladies and gentlemen.
Had a soundtrack, too.
I got my mind quit working trying to think of the midfield stripe. I was going to say the halfway point.
It's that, too.
2nd and 2. Caldwell has the snap, drops back, throws a long pass over the middle. It's going to be in and out of the hands. Nice job recovering by Webb as Alex Cupp, as he's tried to go up and contest the catch, slipped. Middleton couldn't make the catch at the 25-yard line. Incomplete. 3rd down and 2. Third and 2, handoff up the middle. Drennan's got a first down, blows by a tackler at the 45, steps out of a tackle at the 40, tries to break it to the outside, and he's going to be slung out of bounds there by Logan Webb at the 34-yard line. Drennan for 18 yards and a first down for John Marshall. First and 10 Bears at the Elk City 34. Snap back to Caldwell. Looks quickly out in the flat to Middleton. Middleton couldn't make the catch, and it almost dropped right in the hands of Alonzo Gino. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10.
He was focusing on making the tackle or defending the pass, or both. He probably could have had an interception.
Did you see how quick Middleton's feet were?
He never touched him.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
impressive.
He never touched him. 2nd and 10 for the Bears. Snap back Caldwell. Pressure up the middle. Throws it wide open as Middleton at about the 20. Makes a spin move. He's grabbed, and now he's going to be ushered out of bounds by a herd of Elks after a 14-yard gain and a first down to Dorian Middleton. Yeah, that might have been the most impressive thing we've seen all night.
After a while, I didn't notice it live, and Daniel's right there on the field and saw it, but on that replay, yeah, he was untouched.
John Marshall in the red zone for the second time tonight. 1st and 10 from the Elk City 20. Snap back Caldwell. Pressured. He breaks the tackle, steps up through one, and out of the tackle of Gino. Spins away from Webb at the 10. Breaks it to the outside of the 5. What a run from Terrence Caldwell. The Elks had about 3 shots at him in the backfield. Caldwell scores from 20 yards out. And the Bears have put their second touchdown on the board with 2.5 to play in the third quarter. It's 33-12 Elk City.
Well, that was what we've been talking about. They have some guys. They have some dudes that can make you miss. As evident right there on that run.
John Marshall will go for 2. They snap it from the left hash. Russell to the left, snap back, play action pass, rolling right, open is Middleton. He has the catch, and he's got the 2-point conversion. Making the score 33-14 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. The Elks lead the John Marshall Bears with 2:29 left to play on the third quarter clock.
Big Elks absolutely have to sustain a drive here, get to the end of this quarter, end it with some points, and get out of here. You don't want this thing to get any more interesting than what it is.
Coach Maynard over here coaching up the young defensive crew.
Yeah, I mean, those cats, they ain't seen nothing like that.
No. I mean, some of them, they've been playing junior high football, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they come up, play a little 9th grade ball this year, and this is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that athleticism is, it's not what you're used to. But here's the thing. It's also good for next year because some of these guys are going to have to be in the positions they're out there at right now, and a good learning experience for the last 2 weeks. And 2 totally different kind of challenges. You know, last week was more of a physical runner in the Ace Long, and, of course, Laird was out there like some of these guys. These guys are more quick and, you know, they could outfox you in a phone booth.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that saying? Outfox in a phone booth.
Yeah, crazy, or not crazy. Wild Bill had a saying that we can't say on air about a phone booth.
That sounded similar to something I've heard.
Kickoff taken by Kai Keys at the 40. That's
a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
We'll come up after the broadcast. We'll tell you the other one.
2:29 left in the third. The Elks on top of John Marshall, 33-14 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. We're still looking for the McDonald's player of the game, the Culver electrifying play, and also that Barbara Dyson Ford tough hit of the game. Get you some scores of note here in just a second. Webb under center, sends Gino in motion, turns, hands it off. Is that 10? I can't tell what the number is.
40.
Is it 40?
Olavison.
Ah, yeah. Cameron Olavison, the freshman, gets a carry. And he gains 6 yards to the 46. I'm going to say it can't be 10.
Nope.
He's standing over there.
In the crutches.
By you, yeah.
Yeah. His prognosis is hoping to have him back by the second week of the playoffs.
10 catch Gino, who we're referring to. It's Jamison as a tight end on the left. Wingbacks are Cup and Alonzo Gino. Webb turns, hands it off. Olavison breaks 1 tackle, and then there's Clayton to sling him down back at the 45 for a loss of 1. So 3rd and 7 for the Elks at their own 45. Now there's really 3rd and 6. See, that's what happens when you listen to the guy on the microphone. Clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Jeremiah Jackson checks into the game for the first time here for the Elks, splitting out right.
Is the operator not sitting right next to him?
3rd and 6 from the 45. Gino in motion. The ball was fumbled on the snap. Webb got on it, but a loss of 2 back to the 43. So the Elks will be forced to punt for the 3rd time here in the 3rd quarter. Garbarino standing at his own 30. Kylan Drennan back at the John Marshall 28. Seahigh checks in there on the punt team as he sends Cole Bowie to the other side. Good snap. Nice punt. Low liner. Bounces at the 30. Right to Drennan. He fumbles the ball. Regathered it. Now he's trying to break a tackle at the 35. Does, but then riding him down is Blake Red. Back to the 31. But they give him forward progress to the 35-yard line. That's where John Marshall takes over. 1st and 10, trailing 33-14 with 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Technically never fumbled it. He just kind of bobbled it all in midair and came up with it.
The Bears have scored the only touchdown here in the second half. It's 33-14 Elks, 20 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Maybe the last snap heading downwind for John Marshall. Snap back, it's low, and we have a WTC timeout called by the Elks. Cotton Sean trots out there. Coach Green turns around and screams at everybody on the sideline.
Well, I think 85 is supposed to be in there.
He was down getting his finger checked.
Yeah, he had a little. His finger was pointing, I think, in another direction, and now it's good.
24-14 Jinx. Wow, you got to be kidding me.
They just ran the kickoff back for a touchdown.
Did they really?
Yes.
Opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Wow.
I almost picked that one.
Honestly, I told somebody Bixby beat him 50.
Well, I thought, man, I think Jinx could do it. And then common sense started screaming at me, are you serious? Don't pick that one.
Shocker.
Newcastle 17, Bethany 10. This one, I think, is in the 4th.
Man, they're playing that game really quick.
2:40 left in the 3rd. I beg your pardon.
Here, there's 19 seconds left on the third quarter clock. First and 10, John Marshall at the 35. Handoff, Drennan has a hole on the right, breaks to the outside of the 40, the 45. He's knocked out of bounds as he crosses to the 46-yard line. An 11-yard gain and a first down, and that will not be the last play of the third quarter. Drennan steps out of bounds.
So if they score here, you got a 2-score game. What are you?
Well, now I'm worrying again, Daniel.
First and 10, Drennan spins,
Nice.
trying
Good
to get out of a
tackle.
tackle, but Alonzo Gino, sure tackle there at the 48-yard line, gain of about a yard and a half. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears 33-14 after 3. Come back for fourth quarter action. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk Football.
Bobby Joe Cudd started with one piece of equipment and one small crew in Woodward, Oklahoma back in 1977. Now, that company works across the country and around the world. It's Cudd Energy Services. When the bottom fell out of the oil field in the early 1980s, Cudd stuck it out and kept going. Ever since, when newcomers closed the doors, Cudd kept working. Cudd is still here, doing more than ever to harness the power of our natural resources. Cudd Energy Services, here to stay.
Once in a while, you find a company that operates on excellence. They hire people who are serious about safety and quality. It continues with the equipment they use, dependable, sturdy, safe. Then there's the way the company's run, with clear expectations, high standards, and fairness for employees, and commitment to delivering the very best for customers. Anadarko Dozer and Trucking is one of those companies. Anadarko Dozer is dedicated to excellence. To become one of the crew, visit anadarkodozer.com.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium. A quarter of play left in the regular season. The Elks lead the John Marshall Bears 33-14. John Marshall will have it second down and 8 from their own 49, marching into the wind left to right, which is north to south here at Big Elk Stadium. Caldwell in the shotgun, takes the snap, looks quickly out to the left. He's got Middleton. Dorian dances to the outside, beats Jeremiah to the hole to the 40, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds by Reese Burton, finally inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 17 and a first and 10 for John Marshall.
Reese showed a little speed there. He was getting it.
Good to see him back out there. First and 10 Bears at the Elk City 34. Caldwell takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Drennan, trying to pick through a hole. Nice job there. Cleaning it up was Alonzo Gino, but Reese Burton is the one that makes the tackle after a gain of a yard to the 33.
Now, even against these guys, the younger guys, they're having trouble. They're getting the edge on them, but it's going up the middle. They're still having a lot of trouble getting past the brown and white.
Second and 9 and a snap infraction. No surprise, we just got a text, but it's exactly right. No surprise to see Reese Burton able to run, because his dad Russell could absolutely fly.
I think Reese has Russell by about 4 inches, though.
Yeah, he's a lot taller. He's more like Percy Dale, or Brandon even, than Russell. That's 71.
Yeah,
Carson Cobb checking in on the defensive line for the Elks. Second and 14, John Marshall back to the Elk City 38. Quarterback Caldwell trying to make a run. Cobb grabbed him, breaks the tackle, and now good grief. Kind of lifted him up and cleaning it up is Trent Kiplinger. Burton there again laying on the ground with some contact. It's a gain of about 5, brings up 3rd and 9.
Yes, he lifted him up, and he put him back down.
Good 9. Who was that?
I couldn't see his back. It was towards us, and the ball carrier was covering up the front.
3rd and 9, John Marshall at the Elk City 33. Snap back, looking out right. The pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for Derek Lawrence. Braulino Luna, the sophomore corner, was in the vicinity for the Elks, so it's incomplete and 4th down. Ty Jamison back in there for the Elks, as well as Colt Murray. Fabian Armendariz on the defensive line. Got Reyes, Burton, Gillens, and also Gino are the linebackers. Webb, can't tell who that is. Oh, Cup. 4th and 9, snap back, Caldwell, looking left, throws it over the middle. It is complete. Nice catch by Brandon Russell as he came from the left. Got a hands catch at the 18-yard line, scooped it in there for 15 and a 1st and 10 for John Marshall. 10:22 left to play in the 4th. 33-14 the Elks lead, but John Marshall back inside the red zone trying to make this a 2-score game.
Look that there's holding on the edge near us. Young guys got to learn to sell that a little better.
Middleton takes the jet sweep. Gillens had a shot at him back at the 25, couldn't make the play, and now Middleton steps out of bounds around the 15-yard line. That's exactly where they mark him out. Gain of about 3 for Middleton.
And he ran a long ways to get 3. Good job, Big Oak, stretching it out. On limiting that very fast young man to just 3 yards.
10 minutes left. Man, that clock just won't keep running.
I know.
2nd down and 7. Snap back, hand up the middle. Nice job on the interior. Martinez, also Jamison with first contact. Gain of a yard for Drennan. 3rd and about 6.
See if we can bend some more and don't break here. Opportunity here to keep them long on a 4th down situation if we can stop them here.
3rd and 6, John Marshall at the Elk City 14. Handoff to Drennan. He's got a hold. Burton has a hold of him, trying to wrestle him to the ground before he gets to the 1st down marker. He did at about the 11, or give him the 10.
Give him the 10.
So it'll be 4th down and what, 2? Yard and a half?
Yeah. Looks like 2 on the dot.
So 4th and 2 for John Marshall at the Elk City 10. Caldwell turns, hands it to Drennan. Drennan hit at the 1st down marker, but he's still carrying Elk City tacklers.
Good,
inside the
down.
5, down near the goal line to about the 1. 9-yard gain when they needed 2.
He about carried the football and 3 Big Elks into the end zone.
Well, he didn't have any feet on the ground.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. He was just being pushed as Reese had him up in the air. 1st and goal from the 1 for the John Marshall Bears. Snap, handoff. Drennan dives into the end zone. Touchdown for John Marshall with 8:42 to play on the 4th quarter clock. It's now 33-20. The Elks lead with a 2-point conversion coming.
2-point conversion.
Jinx leads 31-14.
Yeah, I'm getting updates on that one. They just picked off. Bixby was driving and they threw an interception.
Not in the 4th quarter, I assume. They run it in.
It wasn't set down here.
Caldwell.
We got a flag.
Yeah.
Had the 2-point conversion, but illegal motion because they weren't set. We'll have to redo the try. Two to 1 in the World Series through 5 innings of play. The Astros lead the Phils. 8:42 left to play here in the 4th quarter. John Marshall going for 2 back at the 7-yard line. Trailing 33-20. They spread it out with 2 wide left, 2 wide right. Caldwell takes the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. He's got a block, and he's into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. So it was 33-22. The Elks lead is down to 11 with 8:42 left. 31-14 Jinx, 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Sponsor 10 seconds for station ID. This is Big Elk Football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City. Cool 94.
33-22 is your score on the Ace Home Center scoreboard. The Elk City Elks lead the John Marshall Bears. 8:42 to play in the 4th quarter. John Marshall's put 16 on the board here in the second half, after the Elks dominated the first to the tune of 33-6. We'll be back here next Friday night for the first round of the playoffs. Who the Elks will play is posted right up there on the Big Elk TV top right-hand corner. 17-10, Newcastle leads Bethany. The loser of that game comes out here to play the Elks in round one.
And I guarantee you both those teams don't want to come out here.
Caldwell to kick. John Marshall hasn't used a tee yet tonight. The Elks have the hands team back out there. He's kicked a couple of line drives here in this half. One was taken by Burton, and the other was taken by Kai Keys. Hands team out there for Elk City. Kicking left to right, which is north to south into the wind. Caldwell boots it. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Poole. Garbarino dives on it to save the possession at the 40-yard line for Elk City. Middleton kind of flew down there. He dove into that pile, slow to get up. But the Elks make the play, and they'll start 1st and 10 at their own 40, needing to sustain something here a little bit just to get the clock running.
One sustained drive in this game. I mean, it's still in doubt, but I mean, one sustained drive, and Elk City can feel good about winning tonight. And you'd like to see that. You'd like to see that from these guys, these young men, the younger guys.
Snapping it from the 40, 1st and 10. Webb turns, hands it off up the middle. That was Kiplinger for a yard to the 41. Yeah, like 2 or 3 first downs would be awful
It
nice.
would be great. And depending how aggressive John Marshall wants to be defensively, you know, get those first downs, make them burn some timeouts too.
Evan Putman checks in for the Elks, replacing Jeremiah Jackson. He'll split out to the left. 2nd down and 9, Elk City at their own 41. Logan Webb, the quarterback, sends Cup in motion. Jet sweep action. Cup's just going to be reached down and grabbed and thrown to the ground by Kirby. Elijah Kirby making the tackle for a loss back to the 37-yard line. And it'll be a WTC timeout as Kirby laying there at the 35.
He's grabbing at his hamstring or in that area.
It's an official WTC timeout. Thank you to Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman. Western Technology Center is educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. Trying to get a 18 is not who is on the roster. Good to see Elijah Kirby up, trying to get off on it underneath his own power. He's struggling to do that.
18 is Daniel Marquez.
Okay, Daniel Marquez.
Thank you to Catch Gino for the clarification.
Attaboy, Catch.
Getting in on the game.
So back to action after the WTC timeout. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 for the Elks at their own 37. Gino in motion, fake handoff to him. Marquez has it. He's going to be ripped down to the ground after a gain of 2 to the 39-yard line. 4th down, and the punting unit is on. Garbarino punt in or with the wind this time.
Now got the wind on his back. See if we can pin him deep, make them sustain a long drive where get some time off this clock.
We're going to snap it with about 7 minutes left to play in the 4th quarter. Still 33-22, the Elks lead. Snaps a little low. Coop's got it. Nice high kick right at Drennan. He takes it at the 25, makes a little dance move, and he's going to be tripped up by Cole Bowie out to the 31-yard line. And that's where John Marshall takes over, 1st and 10 at their own 31 with 6:56 left to play on the fourth quarter clock here. Ace Home scoreboard reads Elk City 33, John Marshall 22.
First down 10 for the Bears.
Our good friend Rodney Skinner listening along. Paul Jones Drug. Paul Jones Drug is care you can trust with free delivery in the Elk City area.
So what do you? I know we're about to run a play here, but in the meantime, who you got in Baton Rouge this week?
Ooh, is it a night game?
It's a night television game. Good tackle by Gino right there.
Great tackle.
Well, it's a little pass out in the flat to Middleton. Alonzo Gino squared up Dorian Middleton and threw him on the ground after a gain of 4. Actually gave him 3 to the 34. You know, this is one of those games that a lot of times Bama kind of asserts their will, but they've struggled on the road a little bit in the SEC, at least play close games. Your Go Tigers might get her done. Snap back to Caldwell, looking out in the flat for Middleton. Dorian's got it at the 30, trying to break a tackle. He does, right to left. He's got a hole. 35-40, 45 to the 50, and he's wrapped up and tackled there in the open field. Nice job by Putman, but not before Middleton. Gains 18 to the Elk City 48, and another 1st and 10 for John Marshall.
The spread's 13.5 in Baton Rouge. Bama's way. I think it's closer than that.
I do too. I think Jaden Daniels is a pretty good quarterback, and he's kind of figuring things out down there.
Not so fast, my friend.
Caldwell pressured, steps up in the pocket, gets away from Gillens, and he's going to be thrown out of bounds near the 45. Strong hit over there. He spun away from Burton. One of the Elks secondary guys. I can't tell.
He did a 360 in the air. Do you see that on the replay?
It was wild.
I don't think he was on the ground. I think he planted and jumped and spun. That's impressive.
Yeah, they make moves. Looking for it now. It was close.
It was almost like a figure skater.
Like what do you go that?
It's a pirouette.
Triple axle.
2nd and 5, John Marshall at the Elk City 43. They had 2 guys in motion at the same time. Handoff is faked. Now all of a sudden the Elks read it nicely as Caldwell gains 2 to the 41. Gillens and Marquez on the tackle for the Elks. Clock runs with 5:20 left in the fourth quarter. 33-22, Elk City leads John Marshall. The Bears will snap it at the Elk City 41, 3rd and 3. Caldwell snap back, fakes the handoff, looking for some room to run, breaks it to the outside, dances through a bunch of guys at the 40-yard line, and is finally tackled. Good grief. I don't know if the Elks in the backfield would have pulled his flag. He is just so quick in short spaces. He ran about 18 yards for no gain, and it's 4th and short.
They might have moved it up a little, but
let's get a stop here, baby.
Yes.
Yeah,
4th down and about 2 for John Marshall at the Elk City 40. Caldwell in the shotgun, takes a snap, turns, hands it off. It's going to be a 1st down for Drennan as he found some room to run on the right side of the line, needed a yard, and he got about 4. Alonzo on the tackle again. Burton and Gino have made a whole bunch of plays here in the second half of those linebacker spots. 1st and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 34. Snap back to Caldwell. Looks up the middle of the field to Middleton. He's got the catch at about the 21. Tackled immediately there by Alex Cupp. But it's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for John Marshall. Well, 1st and 10, John Marshall at the 23. They actually only gave him 13 there. Clock runs. 3:50 left to play in the fourth quarter. The Bears trying to make this a one-score game. Caldwell in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Drennan. Breaks it to the outside. Outruns Webb to the corner at the 15. Dances out of a tackle at the 13, but he stepped on the line on the out of bounds right at the first down marker. It's going to be enough. 10 yards for Drennan. First down and 10 for John Marshall at the Elk City 13. Caldwell snap. Looks over the middle, or out toward the back pylon. It's in and out of the hands of Middleton.
He straight up dropped it.
I thought he was throwing it to Russell at first, but Middleton ran the little corner route.
Well, he looked down before he found it at the last minute. Like, he couldn't see the ball. He couldn't find it.
Maybe the new lights.
And he dropped it.
Wonder if Fred looking in the lights or what? Yeah, he just lost it, I guess. I think you're right.
Second down and 10 for John Marshall at the Elk City 13. Caldwell claps his hands, has the snap, looks left, throws it out in the flat over the head of Drennan. Good job there by Alonzo Gino pressuring Caldwell a little bit, then also trying to get out in coverage was Colt Murray. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd and 10, John Marshall at the Elk City 13. Still 3.5 left in the fourth quarter. The Elks lead by 11, 33-22. As the Bears looking at the sideline, waiting on the play.
Waiting, and now they finally, with 10 seconds left on the play clock.
Caldwell in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking for some room to run on the left, fires it out there. It's going to be dropped. A diving attempt from Russell at the 10. Incomplete. It's 4th down and 10.
So 4th and long. Clearly passing again. They're kind of showing everything in their passing playbook on this drive alone. Be big time for these young guys. I mean, I love it when these young guys get a lot of playing time. Let's see how excited they can get if they can get them off the field.
Fourth and 10, John Marshall. The Elk City 13. Caldwell alone in the backfield in the shotgun. Has the snap. Looking left. Pressure comes. He throws it toward Middleton. And it's actually incomplete, intended for Drennan. That same route toward the back pylon. Drennan couldn't come up with it, and the Elks get a stop.
Good job, guys.
Okay, so the 1-0, I guess they talked on the sidelines. They all went out there, and coach told them no.
I'll say that again.
The first offense, I guess they had talked on the sidelines. They all huddled up on the side, and coach was like, what are y'all doing out here?
3:18 left. The Elks lead by 11, 33-22, and they've got it 1st and 10 at their own 13. They need a fullback.
Well, we got time. We got 8 seconds.
And here comes Olavison. He's there with 4. The Elks can still snap it, and instead Webb's going to call a WTC timeout.
Well, somebody didn't tell somebody that it was not the first-string offense going out. He went back to get some water, I guess.
He won't do it again.
Not going to get a chance to do it again, as here comes Marquez. It's a WTC timeout. Thank you to Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at Western Technology Centers, educating people for success with campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City.
You know, every coach wants to get fired up about something during a game.
No doubt.
I remember beating people by 50 and somebody gets fired. You know, he's going to find something.
In motion is Gino. Handoff to Marquez. Has a little bit of a hole over the right side. Crossing the 15 out to about the 17. That's a gain of 4 on first down for Daniel Marquez.
You got an update for me up there on some scores? My phone isn't. What's Cash Chickasha? And then Bethany.
Here.
Well, Bethany and Newcastle are tied up 17-17.
Okay. It's a dogfight.
Let's see here. 28-14 Cash in the third quarter. Webb, handoff to Marquez. Marquez pushing toward the first down marker. The far side official put up 3 fingers immediately. The near side official was stopping the clock for a first down. If it's not a first down, run the clock. Man,
they're saying 4 inches is what he said. It looks like a first down from here.
Can we get that official that you've seen that online? The guy who moved the ball during the measurement. And he moved the stick back, moved the ball forward.
So now we're going to have what? A measurement?
Yeah, our side judge over here got in his mic and said that's a first down, and then I think the white hat said, "Okay, we should probably measure."
Yeah,
but
our side guy had already swung his hands to stop the clock and was pointing left.
Let's see how Coach Peffer did on the side over there.
Oh no, we're depending on Andy.
Coach Peffer was. Oh. They were right. Good eye.
It's going to be inches.
Inches away from a first.
2 downs to go 4 inches. Here we go.
Looking for the sneak here.
One would think.
Third down and less than a foot. Logan Webb's got the first down. Good push there in the middle of the offensive line. Gain of 2 and a first down for Logan. And with 2 minutes to play on the fourth quarter clock, if we get that thing wound,
it's running now.
Maybe about time to wrap this one up.
It is Thursday night.
31-21 up in Tulsa with Bixby driving.
Not over yet.
Here it's 1st and 10 Elks at the 25, handing it off to Gino. Gino's got a hole on the outside to the 35 and hammered out of bounds by Middleton again at the 40. Alonzo with a gain of 15 and a Moxie Realty first down for the Elks. Is that the first one in the second half?
No, we had one right before that.
That's right. Yeah, second of the half, obviously. So Alonzo with 15 yards and a 1st and 10.
Ran out of bounds, so the clock stops.
Boy, Middleton comes from that safety spot with bad intentions.
Yeah, he's quick.
Offset eye, 1st and 10 Elks. Hand off to Gino, bounces it to the outside, now cuts it back, crossing the field, steps it up in between a couple of tacklers at the 40, spins down for about 3.
Took a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah. 1:10 left. John Marshall. It doesn't look like they're willing to call any timeouts on defense, which is music to my ears. This is probably the last play of the game. This will be down inside of 40 seconds unless the Elks go out of bounds. John Marshall trying to run some guys out there. Jamaris Miles is one of those. Hand off to Gino. Ran into the back of his blocker. Breaks it to the outside. Spins at the 50. Almost got away. Good tackle by Caldwell in the open field, but Alonzo's got enough for another first down. 8-yard gain for Gino. And I think that'll do it. Both teams heading to their opposing sidelines. Play clock's at 23, game clock's at 20, so there's no sense in snapping it here. And the Elk City Elks are going to defeat the John Marshall Bears by a score of 33-22. Let's step out of here. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Maynard, have the players of the game, and the final gas stats and analysis as well. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
This is 100% fresh beef with 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins, and won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy. He is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew. Once in a while, you find a company that operates on excellence. They hire people who are serious about safety and quality. It continues with the equipment they use, dependable, sturdy, safe. Then there's the way the company's run, with clear expectations, high standards, and fairness for employees, and commitment to delivering the very best for customers. Anadarko Dozer and Trucking is one of those companies. Anadarko Dozer is dedicated to excellence. To become one of the crew, visit anadarkodozer.com.
Main Street Coffee and Cafe in downtown Elk City is a great place to drink coffee with friends and family. With their awesome specialty coffees and drinks like frappes, cappuccinos, chai teas, and more, both hot and cold. Try their delicious soup and sandwiches and incredible edible cheesecakes and desserts. Plus, they have specialty gifts and a wide selection of coffee flavorings. With the area's most interesting decor and meeting rooms, Main Street Coffee is the best place to be. You'll find the most personal service every day at Main Street Coffee and Cafe right on the corner of Main and Broadway, downtown Elk City, and find them on Facebook.
As your ag financial partner, agriculture is a big part of what we do. And with today's economy, it takes big planning and the right equipment. That's where we come in. Whether you're expanding, have equipment needs, or just need day-to-day operational capital, we're here for you to keep your operation growing.
They're your neighbors and your friends, and they're right here with you. First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre. Member FDIC.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no brakes to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
Welcome back. Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football. The Elks win 33-22 to complete the district schedule undefeated. Daniel Garbarino, the Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, has Coach Maynard down there at the midfield stripe.
Coach, a great moment there as you invited their team over, had a little talk with them in a prayer. Just what we've shown all year, great sportsmanship. Talk about how you've instilled that in our players.
Oh, I think it's just something that we've just tried to bring out of them. It's not like I had to rebuild it or restart it. I think obviously our parents, our community, teachers, principals from elementary till now have instilled that in them, and I just wanted to make sure that we brought that to the forefront, and I think that's kind of what we did.
So did what we wanted to do in the first half, did what we wanted to do, came out in the second half, got some young guys some playing time. What you expected?
Yeah, it's about right, and it is what it is. Young guys got a lot of experience, got a lot of good things that we can build on and get better for in the future. And older guys did exactly what they were supposed to do. And whoever's next, let's go, bring it on.
Congratulations on a perfect district season, hosting a playoff game for the first time in a long time in your first year. Nice work, Coach.
Thanks. See you next Friday. Let's go to work.
Let's go.
33-22, the Elk City Elks defeat the John Marshall Bears, end up 9-1 on the season. A perfect 5-0, or 6-0, I guess. No, 5-0. 10, 4, 6-0 in district play. It messes you up every time.
The lack of a district opponent.
6-0. Yeah, 4 non-district, 6 district. 6-0. Daniel, your gas post-game analysis of tonight.
I think, it's the same as the first half analysis almost. Although you did see some really, really bright spots for young kids there, as we held them to 12 points in the second half, right? Or are they 14?
Yeah, 16. Well, they got both.
They got
2
both
points.
2 points, so 16. We held them to 16. Bottom line, 2 touchdowns in a whole half against a team like that for our young guys to come out and put up some defensive highlights for themselves and get some really important playing time. So I like that. I like that our older kids were on the sideline supporting the younger kids. You could hear a couple times Coach Maynard turned around and looked at the sideline and see who was yelling at the kids on the field, helping them, getting them in the right positions. You like to see that, and just overall to have some people coming up behind me, I felt it over my shoulder. I didn't know what was going on there. A little scary. I'm not used to people coming up from behind me.
Well, one of them's on crutches. You probably heard him.
Well, he can hit me with those crutches, man. But the analysis of that right there is a little worrisome. But but I think we did what we wanted to do. This looking forward now, I kind of like it that we played on Thursday, to be honest with you. We got an extra day to prep, but so did Newcastle and Bethany. But still, you get an extra day to look at their tendencies, to look at all their games. We haven't had, I don't believe, a common opponent for Newcastle or Bethany, if I'm correct. I tried to find some Newcastle film on Huddle today, and I could not find any of anyone that we played. So
Bridge Creek.
Did they play Bridge Creek?
Yeah, Bridge Creek was in that district.
That's
so
kind
they
of
have
a wash.
To be.
I mean,
But
they probably did the same thing we did to them.
Yeah, for sure. But so it just gives you some extra time there. Get some kids a little bit more healed up. I don't think we had any dings tonight. It didn't look like anybody was except for the finger on 85, but I think he's good. So good game, good overall plan, good playing for our young kids, and looking forward to next week, big time.
Give us a regular season kind of analysis of what you saw as the Elks marched through 9-1 and just the different things as it went along.
I felt like we started pretty quick, right? But we had some relatively, we had Bridge Creek obviously, which was pretty easy, and then we played very well as a team, but we had the turnover bug. Not necessarily turning it over to the other team. Let me rephrase that. We would put the ball on the ground a lot. We had games with multiple fumbles, multiple turnovers, and I feel like that corrected now. We haven't seen that too much the last 3 weeks. And I feel like we've grown as a team. I feel like they're playing more as a team. I was worried about that at the beginning of the year, losing those influential seniors. I don't remember if we talked about that at our first game, losing the influential seniors and then wondering who was going to step up. But it was a step. I think it's been a step up by committee, which is great. That's what you want to see. That's a good thing. So I think we have some solid leaders at many of our positions, and I think we have progressed in the season to where we are. I honestly believe if we would have played a full game the last 2 weeks, we could have put up 70 points, and that's where you want to do. You want to start peaking now and play your best football week 11, week 12, hopefully week 13 and week 14.
That is the gas analysis.
Keep talking. We're watching a game up here.
Yeah, that's I can tell you 1 second left. Newcastle calls timeout.
Is it tied still?
It's tied. They're at the 5-yard line, about to try to kick an extra, essentially an extra point to win the game.
Wow.
Now looking at that end zone, they're going to be kicking in the wind if the wind is as strong as it is there than it is here.
Yeah, it's going away from that big building.
So Are they at Bethany?
No, they're at Newcastle.
They're at Newcastle.
So they're kicking.
They're kicking to the south.
To the south. I mean,
looks like they're pretty well right dead in the middle of the field. Maybe just a tick to the left of the middle, possibly.
Another thing that we haven't talked about too is sitting on the lawn over there by the weight room and the locker room, almost every game is Coach Meadows and Coach Weatherly. And you'd be remiss if you didn't talk about those guys.
That's right.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
Right. That's you think about, at least we talked about it a bunch last year, but it carries over even to this year again. When Coach Meadows took this job, Elk City lost 23 straight games. And he turns that into now the third, with the help of this team here, that's now 3 straight playoff appearances for Elk City football. And I'm going to tell you something, boys. That hasn't happened very much in the history of this program as Newcastle yanks the field goal to miss it.
Go in the OT.
So overtime. But no, everything that those teams that did make a bunch of playoffs in a row had was toughness and physicality, and that weight room down there has been a huge part of this, not only from just getting stronger, in my opinion, but also accountability, not only from the players to the coaches, but from the players to the players themselves. And I think that you can't speak enough as to how that will help build this program and continue it rolling along.
Yeah, peer-to-peer pressure is the most pressure that you can have, right? And if that is occurring, which I know it is, then the sky is the limit. And so then that brings us to present day, right? So you have Coach Maynard in his first year as a head coach. I mean, 9-1, undefeated in district, first outright district championship since 98. We shared one in 04.
I think we ended up being third.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, the success we have, the groundwork laid by those fellas before, you just can't say enough about them. Thanks for coming to the game, coaches. Then, great to see you out here. Let me tell you, those old coaches, I was talking to them before the game. I say old with that's a good term in the coaching world. That means they were successful and got to retire. They were talking about plays in Garden City before the game that happened years ago, like individual kids, individual plays, and that's just they love the game and they have a lot of passion for it.
Yeah, it is cool to see them because like you said, those guys are the building blocks. And when we're up here getting the text messages at halftime, a bunch of those building blocks are still in touch with this team. I mean, it feels like Corey and Alex and a lot of those guys are watching. Jason probably has to because his brother's playing, but whatever. Anyhow. But, you do. It's like that camaraderie, and those guys like to go back and look and see, and that's how it happens. Listen, I mean, there's such an example for how to build a program and how to continue it just right down the street. We talk about that a bunch, and that's what you see over there. It's that tradition, and it's that just everybody pulling on the same rope. And for the first time in a long time with Elk City football, everybody from the lowest man on the totem pole clear throughout the entire town of Elk City, everybody is pulling on that same brown and white rope, and the proof is in the pudding, and the results are awesome.
Yeah, what a phenomenal year for us. Hopefully it doesn't end anytime soon.
No doubt about it. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll see if this game ends in overtime before we can tell everybody who's the opponent next week. We'll also have, let's be honest, Cade not here. He's the stat master.
Yeah,
we'll figure out something on these stats. I do have maybe some total stats that we can get into. The Elks win 33-22 in the season, 9-1. 4A District 1 champs will host either Bethany or Newcastle, whoever loses in overtime between those two that's about to start up in Newcastle. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
There's no better feeling than grilling out, and there's no better place than Ace to get the best grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. You won't find these premium brands and service at a warehouse store, only at your neighborhood Ace, around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their grills.
George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you, or shop online at elksupply.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
You've heard us talk about the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Now let's hear from one of their actual customers, BG Bisco.
With Bank of Western Oklahoma, it's more of a personal relationship. It's not a corporate bank. It's just how they've treated me. So God's always been in my life. So he's completely guided our way along with the bank. You know, if I didn't have my financial partner with David and the bank, you know, I don't know where I would be, but also if I didn't have God, where would I be?
The Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people really do come first. Member FDIC.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
Paragon Sports welcomes State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino and his family to Elk City. And he's proud to support this area's schools, students, and their activities. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with surprisingly great rates for auto coverage and surprisingly great rates for everyone.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Western Technology Center has been educating high school juniors, seniors, and adults for over 40 years. WTC continues to train Oklahomans for the global workplace. With several programs available, many individuals have been able to find one that best serves their wants and needs, like business development, fire service training, industrial training, dental hygiene, and many other fields of study. With 5 campuses to choose from in Burns Flat, Sayre, Hobart, Weatherford, and Elk City, WTC is closer than you think. Contact the campus nearest you today or visit westtech.edu.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium. The Elk City Elks victorious tonight, 33-22 over the John Marshall Bears. They end the season at 9-1, a perfect 6-0 in District 4A1 play. The Elk City Elks are the district champ. They will be right back here at Big Elk Stadium next week in the first round of the playoffs on a Friday night. Opponent to be determined because Bethany and Newcastle are in overtime. The Broncos have the ball first, starting at the 10-yard line. They're running the old Philly special, and it's going to be a touchdown for Bethany. So Bethany got the ball first. They ran the Philly special. They score a touchdown, extra point pending. The Bethany scores to start overtime up there in Newcastle.
Oh, man.
All right, Jared, let's do the players of the game. McDonald's player of the game tonight, senior Matthew Thompson. He was awesome on a couple of really long runs, played some pretty good defense, too, at times, covering the speedy receivers of John Marshall. So Matthew Thompson is the McDonald's player of the game. The Culver electrifying play was made by another senior, Cooper Patton, on the interception. And then, I don't know, he probably picked it off at the 20, was tackled at about midfield. And a 30-yard return, he probably ran 100 as he sprinted from the far side to the near side, back to the middle, made a couple of moves. Just electric there for Cooper Patton. So that's the Culver electrifying play is the extra point doinked in off the left upright for Bethany. So 24-17, Bethany leads. Newcastle have a chance to tie that game or maybe win it with the 2-point conversion. So Cooper Patton, the electrifying play. And then sophomore Alonzo Gino makes the Barbara Dyson Ford tough hit of the game over against Dorian Middleton out in the left flat. He did a great job of breaking down, not falling for the little jukes, and just a perfect form tackle in which he almost kind of picked him up and slammed him down. So Alonzo Gino is the man that makes the Barbara Dyson Ford tough hit of the game. Kind of your last thoughts, not only about tonight, Jared, but also the regular season so far for the Elks.
Surprised. I'm not going to lie. A little surprised because of what we did last year, going all the way to the semifinals with that special group of seniors. And then, I don't want to say a rebuild, but a reload kind of year. And then seeing the schedule the way it was laid out with, Canadian Texas and Carl Albert and Clinton and, of course, the rest of the district, Weatherford. We knew Chickasha would have some athletes. Shoot, we saw John Marshall join the district, and I thought these guys might have some athletes too.
No, and they did.
And they did. But overall, though, I'm pleasantly surprised. And then, shame on me because I'm kind of talking in the pregame about it is, why should we be surprised? This is a program that's been established. It was established by Meadows with his 2 years here to get it reestablished, I should say. and it's continuing on an upward trajectory under Maynard, and is very, 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 very happy about it. I'm looking forward to the playoffs tonight. I mean, people are going to look at the score and go, man, they let John Marshall hang around. Well, go back and watch the game. You can understand why a loss didn't matter if it had happened, and a win is just a cherry on top to a perfect district run. So it's nice. It's fun, and I'm trying to maintain my excitement because the next season's about to start, and that's next week against an opponent we don't know. We're trying to stretch this out and figure it out.
It's about 3rd and 11. By the way, we got so fixated on this game. Chickasha has come back to take a lead over Cache.
Saw that.
34-28.
I thought I heard a slight roar 20 miles to the east.
Yeah, that would put Clinton second and Weatherford third in the district if the Red Tornadoes win by more than 8 tomorrow against
game
Woodward.
Not only is a play-in game for the playoffs, but it determines if a team is traveling or not traveling.
Correct.
Or vice versa. Weatherford and Clinton, of all teams, those two teams go.
Newcastle throws it to the end zone, incomplete, 4th down.
My goodness.
Are we gonna? Do we need to do an ID? Not yet.
No, we're good.
We're good. Drew's up there going really cool, fellas.
Drew,
really
he's been a
cool.
trooper. Speaking of seasons, he's been a trooper all season long. We had some crazy conditions. Of course, Cache comes to mind. Tonight. Obviously he's out in the elements every time, all the time. But tonight's really the first kind of semi-cool night with this wind. And I say this when people give us compliments, and I tell them, listen, the reason we look good is because of that camera work up there. And I say, just go compare it. I'm not trying to be mean. Just go compare it, and you'll see why. So big shout out to Drew. What do we got?
Newcastle throws a touchdown pass on 4th and 11. It looked like it was going to be intercepted.
Oh, my goodness.
It looked like it might have been tipped, and the Newcastle guy still caught it.
Oh, my goodness.
They are lining up.
This isn't guaranteed.
They are lining up to kick the extra point. This kid literally just missed from right here a couple of seconds ago. Newcastle is looking to tie it at 24.
Again, for our listeners.
4th and 11, they score a touchdown. Good snap. The hold is good. The kick is up. It looked like he belted it right down the middle, and he did. So Newcastle and Bethany go to double overtime, tied at 24. 4th and 11, they throw a touchdown pass. Holy cow.
I don't know if we can hang out this
long. We're
long.
not going to be able to hang out this long. Hey, tune into the Skinny on Sports in the morning, 9 a.m. on KADS, and we'll tell you who the Elks will play in the first round.
We usually flash up a graphic that says who we're playing and what time and all that stuff. We don't know what time we're playing. Typically playoffs, they start them at 7:30 unless both schools agree to start early, which has been the case as of late. So I wouldn't be shocked if it's 7 o'clock next week. But you're right, tune in next week or tomorrow we might know, and we'll know our opponent too. We don't know our opponent. We'll get the loser of Newcastle and Bethany.
Jinx is about to end a 58-game, nation-leading long win streak of Bixby.
On national television.
38-21 Jinx with 6 minutes left.
That's been a wild night.
It has been a wild night. All right. We're going to have to get out of here. Thanks to, I keep forgetting his name. What's his name back there at the station?
Jackson.
Jackson back at the station.
Jackson.
Casey there maybe too. Appreciate Jackson doing his great work. Keeping us on Cool 94.
Jackson Busby.
Yeah, Jackson Busby. I knew Busby. I can't never remember Jackson.
Yeah.
Thanks. You mentioned Drew Cobb and the eye in the sky. The pictures on BigElkTV.com are just not even – it's not even comparable if you go watch something else. It's amazing the talent that he has and the eye for it. It's just awesome.
Yes.
Daniel Garbarino, a great addition to our group, as well as the Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, Cade Sanford, with the stats. Yeah, he does a way better job than I did. Look at that chicken scratch that I was trying to keep up with it. He does a great job. Jared Atha does all the production stuff on Big Elk TV that makes those pictures that Drew shoots work. I'm Aaron Calca. Final score one final time here from Big Elk Stadium. The Elk City Elks defeat the John Marshall Bears 33-22. We'll be back next Friday night for round 1 of the playoffs. This has been the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Elk City Athletics, presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people come first. Big Elk TV and Cool 94 are a part of the Paragon Communications Network, and any distribution or rebroadcast without permission is strictly prohibited. Paragon Communications is owned and operated by Blake Brewer. General Manager is Gabe Edney. Sports Director, Sean Wilson. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, go Big Elks.